Good morning, Namaskar, Suraj Singh, Solar System. Yesterday I did something I could not continue on video due to singles problem. I'm not sure about today what happens. Well, continuation of that, I was talking to you about solar system in relation to our souls, movement of our soul, which is a belief only, which is not evident scientifically. I cannot prove there is soul, but I feel there is soul. It is proven fact that we have to understand only. It's not simply that I have to prove it is a soul. Body is proven, body is seen, but operation behind body is by soul, which is not understood so far. Well, spiritual may say something, it doesn't matter, but science doesn't accept this, and engineering doesn't accept this. But it is just like electric current is not known, appliances working is known. Similarly, as I extended values towards science of spirituology, I am calling it science of spirituology because it is a systematic one. We cannot simply ignore it, though it's not acceptable, it's not approved, but yet it is working. If there is no soul, there is no system, nothing can happen. We do not know how this system, universal system, is operating and how human body is operating. It's operating because of certain force behind this, and that force is called a soul or strength of this is a spirit. I will not go talk this where I put many videos on on this text of this video. I have put certain past URLs in relation to economy, which I worked about and I published, and that URL are available on this text in addition to current URLs of solar system. You can go through that if you intend to know that what economy is, what earth is, how we are laying that complete system I have provided according to my mental creation. I put economy there just so that economy cannot be put in isolation, and earth is related to that resources in earth is complete wealth in earth, hidden wealth in earth is responsible for world economy, which is not in isolation because we cannot do anything. We cannot create resources natural as a God creation for us. So you can go through that if you have time, if you are pleased to that, if you're interested to know that something which I put up by having any you can say drawing or using many resources or many other information available on internet or elsewhere or what my mind spoke about. I just put on this. You can go through that. And I'm continuing also this solar system. I was talking about soul and aura. Aura was defined yesterday. I explained a lot of that. I just remind you what I mean by aura. Aura means a globe, invisible globe on your head, on your mind. Initial globes, a sphere, magnetic electron, magnetic sphere, working at a speed of, there's a value of acceleration of 10 to the power minus 6. Near only call is, can say micro, you may call it, or whatever you call it. And I produce values of that, how to measure this aura hypothetically. This aura which is the head of everybody, and that expandable, or that's, you can say it can be zipped in or zipped out, we say like that. It can be zoomed in, zoomed out, and like that. It can be done that way. Imagination is nothing is done physically. We think a lot, we know how thinking powers comes into us. Everybody thinks, contemplates, imagines, assumes, presumes. But how it's working? Doctors want to answer you. They weigh something medically. I'm not a medical person, but I'm an imaginary person. I imagine, suppose, how I'm speaking now. Who is forcing me to speak? Who is giving this energy to speak? Who is asking me to think on that and speak like that? I am not reading any book. I'm not reading any written paper. I am just reading what I'm thinking. Well, it's fine. It's called improvisation. Your mind is practical. It's telling you what to speak. And I'm speaking. Your tongue is working. Mouth is working. Force is working. And my mind is evaluating something. It is generating some energy. And that energy is telling me you speak like this. I'm speaking quickly. It's working as fast as possible. What's that then? I am walking. Who is giving me force to walk? You may say, oh, we are taking food. Is because of this. Food is there, water is there, everything is there. Natural forces are there. Walking, you're working, you're doing all of that. Body is working. But who is behind that? Do we know that one? I suppose there is someone behind us, and that's called soul. That soul or strength of soul calls a spirited soul or not a spirited soul. If your soul is spirited, you are not under depression. If your soul is depressed, means your strength is lesser than required. You have to understand that means what soul is then. I am not going to define soul. I am going to assume that it is there. I imagine it is there. I have some picture in my mind. I am trying to translate that into my speech, into my understanding, into my written text into my speech, and that is important to understand. If I understand that, it's like imagination. If you think, imagine something, a picture is created in the mind. Your mind creates a picture of imagination. Oh, I have vision of this. You may call it vision, or you may call a picture, imagination, or a mirage, or horizon, whatever you can say. You are having the right to say that. I want that. No question in that. When I assume that I have mind, I just explained to how to measure this. I had put certain files on this text and last text also. You can go through that. Is a file of Excel, there's a file of Word, and Word says about, I say hypothesis. It is also Excel is hypothesis. Hypothesis are just telling us, imagine there's a power on your head, how it's working, what results giving. I try to measure value of aura. I could successfully calculate that, keeping value of 10 to minus 6 and going on increasing that or incrementally increasing that to any value. I just consider the determinants the 10 to power minus 55 or you can go further. And accordingly, I explained yesterday about that aura, and that is that hypothesis was word file. You can read yourself, something special on that, just giving is how a hypothesis is considered and how he did that. I will not read it again, but I'll just speak about aura, which is measurable, and I do measure it. I said it starts from point one. Okay, the one over, if you write 1/10, that's power minus 10 to power minus 1. You say 1 divided by 10, which means 10 to power minus 1, and if you say 1 divided by 100 means 10 to power minus 2, like that goes in increasing 10 to power minus 3 and 10 to power minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. When you keep a silver line or datum line of minus 6 is a micron value on which your generally computer works, or still it's working on that, and you can say when you reverse that means you get some area, projected area of that one. So point one is a reverse means it comes to 10 and 100 and 10. 0.01 is 100 and 0.00 is 1000. Like this goes to 1 lakh or 1 million, and it is 10 to the power minus 6. Put 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the plus, it becomes mega or million. Million, it becomes million. So it's called 10 to the power 6, which is projected answer of 10 to the power minus 6. And we have to calculate, when you calculate using formula of spherical surface towards the spherical globule, if you apply formula of spherical surface and equal to that value, which is 1 million, you'll find radius and diameter of that globe by mathematical calculations. You're applying use formula, whatever it is. I'm not going to say here, applies for square, whatever it means is there. You can find an equivalent diameter of globe on your head is 80 meters. When it is 10 to the power minus 6 converted to the power plus 6, and it starts with say 1.1 to 10. First dimension I'm considering 1 over 10 to 10, which gives a diameter of meters of 0.26 means 26 centimeter or 25 centimeter, it doesn't matter. 25 centimeter, let's say 25 centimeter bomb when you use 10 or 10 to the power minus 1. You see 10 to the power minus 2, it's used 100 reverse, and so it is, so it was 20.25 centimeter. When it was 0.1, it was is 79 centimeter, means 0.01, or is one of, okay, it's a 100 area. And when it is 1000 area, 1000 area, it is 2.5 meters. When it is 10,000 area, it's 7.98 meters dia, and it is 1 lakh area, it is 25.23 meters dia, and it is 1 million area, oh, 1 million area, yes, 10 lakh, 10 lakh area, it is 79.788 meters diameter. These are minimum, means a duffer starts with 25 centimeters, then 2079, and like this it goes to 80 meters for a sound mind person. I consider it this way. And this I based on 200 centimeter square of the surface area of our brain, which I'm considering as chip. And if you just keep it moving up to 10 to the power 55, in same range, 10 to the power 55, and you will get a value of 10 to the power 55, means if you just project it further, you'll get it, see, 2.52 into 10 to power 23 kilometers or 2.52 into 10 to power 26 meters. What I'm going to say, 2.52 is value E. I'm using E value here, a scientific value, which is when I used to E value means you have to multiply this value into 10 and use power as plus or minus. So when I'm using 25, or sorry, 55, 10 to the power 55, this value comes to 2.52 into 10 to the power 26 meters or 2.52 into 10 to the power 23 kilometers. And it goes on increasing. If you just suppose I use 60, 10 to the power 60, in that case, you may say value of this comes 7.97 e into 10 to the power of plus 28 or 7.98 into 10 to the power 25 kilometers. This goes to this is purpose of this is telling how now this diameter which I'm getting or radius I'm getting, it's not simply a diameter or a measurement. What I'm considering is from I keeping myself in center of that, and that is radius means that is distance of which I'm considering something. And I'm saying this 2.5 to 10 power 25 kilometer. This means that is sky. I'm considering the sky is there. And if I consider, let us say, just 10 to power, I have to say something in a very different way. Let us say it is 10 to power 25. For example, when I'm saying it is 10 to power 25 means 2.52 into 10 to power is 2, it's very long one. 125, it's simply 10 to power 25 and it is 2.52 into 10 to power 11 meters. It's like that means we have to make this understanding with us. It's only for that purpose, nothing to means you can read file and understand and try to get more and more. You can read file of word which it describes, but I'm going to say by hypos of oracle, and this is calculations, electronic calculation excel sheet. You can download from script.com. This is available script.com, script.com. You can download excel file from there. It's PDF file first of all, but there is Excel file available. You can download this, you can download Word file, and you can understand yourself. I mean about that. Now I'll continue on that for continuation of explanation which are revised solar system dimensions, parameters. I I submitted last time, but that was not complete one. Whatever information I had that time, I submitted. It's very complicated and boring subject. First of all, it's based on mathematics and formulas, so completely that. There's a file available on same script.com, and there is solar system dynamic calculations details 2111. This is available there. You can download that if you wish. And because this is very complex file from general viewpoint, from common person, not for engineers or others, for engineers, this no problem. They can go very well into this all based on Excel formula. It's very easy one for them, but not for others. If you wish, you can download and see that Excel file is there as well as PDF file. Both are there. You can better download that, and there's a complete matrix on that. About you can say there are in the calculation 25 columns are there, and their columns rows are about 20. You can say this is 20 rows for calculations. Further noting is there. In that detail, beauty is that many parameters have been worked out. Parameters based on many informations. It's not simply my imagination. Is I have gone through search and for certain values available information regarding solar system, planetary system, which I assume was not exact what I got from the events. If you consider, if you want to see a sketch is also available in the same script.com. You can go and see that sketch. I'll open the sketch and just remind you what type of sketch it is. The sketch is also there, and I'll try to open that sketch, very important one. This is sketch, and if you see that the sketch, this is a sketch, and if it's very interesting one, complete, it's well measured sketch, not simply drawn only. It's well measured sketch. This is sketch and file name is solar system dynamics in one calculations PDF. And this sketch is, it is scale drawn on a scale. It's not simply geometrically worked out. And dimensions given in this are in crores kilometers. For example, outer there's many circles in this. You can say if you start from middle one circle, there's a smaller circle, solid color means solid in it's called solid hatching in AutoCAD. This is sun actually. This is black small point type circle. In this, if when you downward see this, this is sun around which encompassing all planets. This is in this diagram. These distances from sun have been actually drawn according to information received from various websites, and these distances are clearly given on Excel file. Here completely out to outer orbit, that is for Pluto and Neptune. This is 990 crores kilometer given there, and all dimensions same. So I just refer it for you to see that one, and then there is another one on the same page, network of solar systems, which is something means we cannot simply say that there is only one solar system. How it is that I have explained in that Excel file by calculations itself. So I have just given a small sketch on the other side also, which is giving typical network solar system indicated with a universal solve flow. This is half, you can say, spiritual and half engineering wise. And then this is small matrix of dimensions, measurements, giving indications about these planets and their rotation, axis rotation, orbital rotations, planet diameters, etc. on same page. Now I'll go back to Excel Excel sheet and start conferring with you. If you see in this Excel sheet, difficult. This column 1 to column 19 here, and titles on them are name is size solar system equilibrium dynamics parameters, and if you say there's first column which is percentage of sun diameter, second column this is names of planets, next one is rotation at axis perpetual which is in days, then there's orbit rotation around sun which is in days, and planet diameter kilometers. When I say rotation at axis means it's on axis, planet is rotating, and I say orbital rotation around sun means when this planet moves around sun to complete one rotation in number of days. That's given there. It's information received from not my own, it's from references, various references. And then diameter of planet in kilometers, and then it is axis speed at surface. After that is number 7 sun diameter, which is also taken from references and which is common for all planets because sun diameter is from a sun to planet, that is we are taking for our working out values and distance from sun, how much is that, and say orbital speed around sun is in kilometer per hour, and then average density of material of that planet, which is also referred to one. Average means there are so many layers in every planet, could be just like we have on Earth, many layers, and average of that is given there. We'll talk of that, and then we have volume. Volume means volume of material of that planet, Earth or whatever it is, the value of that in cubic kilometers. The units are cubic and kilometers here. It's not small unit, it's a very big unit. And we should imagine 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer means 1 cubic kilometer. It's big unit. Average density in kilometer to power 3. Density is also in kilometer. It's not meter cube, it's kilometer cube. And planet mass, which is in value E, then planet's propulsion force, and followed by centrifugal force for just generating relations of application of force and equilibrium of dynamism, dynamic equilibrium. How many times propulsion force at sun, other planets means relation formation between two forces and sun's self-planetary motion relative propulsion force. After that is planetary distance from center of sun and planet surface area. These are main columns, and after entering values of this, there's another subtable which is in relation to sun and various parameters which I'll speak with you. And after that, there are notings about some this all. I'll go through briefly and later on I'll explain. This noting says about table given certain information pertinent solar system based on various references used from web. This these are just, you can say, a kind of noting means an abstract, but we can understand from above. When I talk of this, I'll just briefly speak to you what I have written, so that you have an idea how what we have worked on that. Just speaking in mathematical terms shall not make an understanding you guys. So this is solar system comprising of various planets is working in dynamic equilibrium. We call in our engineering structure engineering static equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium. This again that it's same kind of means nothing is stationary in fact in nature. It's moving. You cannot say that they are just there as a building is standing. No, it's not that. It's rotating, it's dynamic, and that is, I think, the reason only that these are in equilibrium position. If you leave them as it is, they will not be there. So it you can say this is a dynamic equilibrium. And further down, and all planets are revolving around their respective axes continuously. Planets other than Sun are also revolving around Sun with defined velocities and speeds. This we worked out. And how many days how many days does one planet consume to move around its axis are indicated on this table. And this data, how many days does one planet consume to move around Sun are also indicated. Both are indicated on its own axis as well as around Sun in orbital form. In diameter and volume, each planet is indicated. Each planet on each planet owns rotation, speed, and speed around Sun. Orbital speed indicated. Propulsion force produced by each planet except Sun because of orbital movement is indicated. Respective centrifugal force is also indicated, and parameter respecting Sun are indicated separately because Sun doesn't rotate around itself but only on its axis, and each Earth rotates on its axis at 636 km per hour and around Sun is more than 1 lakh km per hour. Escape velocity of Sun is 22 lakh 23,720 km per hour, which I have taken from some source, informative source. It means 22 lakhs 23,720 km per hour, which has been used in calculations, means there exists no planet that can face Sun's self-revolving velocity. Diameter of Sun is 13.91 mil. It's kilometers, 1.39 million kilometers, where Earth is only 12,500 kilometers in diameter. Amazingly, Sun's internal propulsion force is enormously number of times of other planets' propulsion force. This number varies from minimum 47 to maximum 78,581 for Jupiter and Mars respectively. You can see difference in ratio. 40 the ranges varies from 47 to 78,581, and this is a big range. Then Earth is only 3631 in between these two. Okay. After that, if you go to Earth is moving around Sun at more than 1 lakh or more, which is higher planetary speed, highest planetary speed around Sun among all other planets. Earth is most fastly moving, most rapidly moving around Sun, and you may say you are always traveling. You can say you are traveling in two ranges. One is on its own axis, means you are always traveling, but you are not feeling. You are also traveling around Sun in such a speed which you cannot even dream of or think of, and that's the reason I wanted to project this. Means we are all traveling. We are not stationary. Even though we are sleeping, we travel. If some missile or rat, suppose if some missile or some rocket attacks the surface of Earth from space, Earth could be jeopardized very badly, may destroyed. If some rocket is launched from Earth for a trajectory or enters space and then commanded to return to Earth to attack it, you know what happens? Earth can be endangered and its existence can be challenged by some devil hands. No vehicle could be designed and built to reach Sun. And even if it reaches Sun, what happens? It doesn't look feasible to have a speed of say 2.5 million per hour when it reaches Sun. 2.5 million per hour speed at least you need to digest power of Sun, or else you are destroyed there. You are absorbed by material of Sun. Then it doesn't look feasible. Of that illumination power of Sun is tremendously, which is tremendous and which is impossible to be digested by planets. Earth products propulsion is this. I'll, if I speak here, there are so many zeros and there's so many values written there. And highest among all planets except Sun, Earth produces propulsion force, then solar system imaginary envelope volume. Solar system imaginary envelope volume. What I am going to say is there is solar system and there is a space around all planets, and that is imaginary. If you draw a circle around that and see and we measure the volume of that sphere, we find is 5.24 E plus 32 kilometer cube, which surface is illumined by sun. Of course, sun transmits and delivers light, sun rays, illumination to all in that space. And solar system imaginary envelope surface is 3.141. I'm talking of surface now. Previously I was talking about volume. Now it is surface of same sphere, which is 3.1416 E plus 22 kilometer cube, square, which surface is illumined by sun, and sun's internal propulsion force is 2.21 E plus 30 TkM tons kilometer hour per hour, while on planetary move on total is 5.32 plus 28 TkM per hour. This is one exclusive sun for 2.2 plus 30 TkM. It is 5.32 plus 28 TkM per hour. It's a lot of difference. The sun imparts luminosity to all planets at rate 6.3 E plus 13 watt per kilometer square of its surface. You can see from that value I talked about, this much is absorbed or given to all planets, surface area to all planets. Illumination to planets exposed surface is 0.5 of all planets, because at one time light can be received only by projected part of this planets, not by all part, because it's in one direction, they're traveling, they're moving. So half of that is assumed that the surface area except that one. So exposed surface area, you may say 0.5, we consider that comes to be 634,775 and 5 places of zero. That is kilometer square. And conclusion about that are suggests that sun with its internal propulsion energy, which is about 2.21 E plus 30 TkM, presumably transferred to other planets 2.4 E plus 00. Since energy cannot be destroyed, question is this energy which sun releases because of its own motion, artificial motion, where does it go? can't keep with it. This means this energy cannot be destroyed. It's scientific principle. It must go somewhere. This reformed energy spreads into sun surrounding spaces, reaches to other planets, and it's continuous process. It never stops. Reaches other planets, working to create buoyancy effect on those planets. This I assume. I cannot prove it. Scientists have to prove it. It's their job. Yet I can assume it. I'm not expert on this, but I'm trying to understand mathematically. So that energy the sun generates, it must be used by some some you can say objects, and this is solar system plants which maybe they accept that one to support themselves probably, and that's called buoyancy effectiveness or something. Though it's not buoyancy, but maybe it's like that. And planets self-developed propulsion force are used for their own perpetual and forward movement in orbits. It could be because nothing is stationary here. Sequence of orbital speed is, you can say, what's, if you take into your consideration what is sequence of speed, you can say orbital speed is highest because Earth is the first highest, then it's Mercury which is second one, and Venus third highest, Mars fourth. I'm talking speed, orbital speed, and Saturn fifth highest, Jupiter sixth highest, and Uranus and Pluto lowest one. And you can see Venus has longest day. If you see, it is 243 Earth days, means one day on Venus. Mercury is second one, which is 59 Earth days, means one day on Mercury. You just imagine, if you are on Venus, you have to spend a day which is equivalent to 243 Earth days. And on Mercury, it is 59 days of Earth, it means you complete one day there. Jupiter day is 39% of Earth's day, shortest, and you can say 24 hours in one day here, and 39% say it is 24 hours and 90, means 9 hours something. You may say that is on Jupiter. So this worked out based on now why how could I work with this is I'm just informing you about how many other solar systems could be in universe, though it's not seen, nobody can say. Just calculations I'm doing. I'm considering that radius of Earth, you can say Earth to sky, if you say that is, I'm assuming it is 2.3 into 10 to power 25, we consider kilometers radius from here to sky, probably it's not shown, or you can say layers where stars embedded, they're working. I have used this formula of my soul system, considering 10 to power 55 or plus 7 value of, of you can say thinking power, and this can be 2.3 into 10 to power 25 radius, and based on that I have used spherical volume and then volume what our solar system got in, and application of say one-fourth of this volume occupied by this solar system spherical bodies. This could be, can say, 2.4 into 10 to the power 37. So a system though which looks impossible, but this is calculations. You may say that there is an innumerable solar system could be in universe, which we scientists have to look after. And this is all about imaginations, or you can say hypothetical considerations behind this small study of mathematical calculations involved in this table. And I'll go now with these names of planets first of all, which are very significant from viewpoint where we are considering Sun as central point of solar system, and the Sun having its own dimension, and which is you can say is this is diameter, if you consider a graph from available information, which is 139,1020 kilometer, means 1 391020 is 13 lakh 91,020 kilometers or 1.39 million, you may say. And these planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, or dwarf stars. Mercury, say that Mercury stays or locates at distance of 579,100,000. You can say 5.79 crores. 5.79 crores kilometers from Sun, location of Mercury. And then Venus, which is located at 10.82 crores from Sun, then and Earth 15 crores approximately, though not exactly, from Sun. Mars 22.79 crores kilometers from Sun, and Jupiter is located 77.85 kilometers from Sun, though from Earth it is called approximately 76 kilometers, 75 kilometers. Yet from Jupiter to Sun it is 77.85 kilometers, and then Saturn is 14 million. Is 143, 143,340,000 means it is 143 crores, may say 143 crores kilometers. That's Saturn. And Uranus, which is 287 crores kilometer, and Neptune is 449 crores kilometer. Pluto is approximately same. Nearest are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and farthest are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. This you know, maybe in ordinary discussion of solar system. Geography or geospace you might have studied in your school or college syllabus. Just refreshing study here I'm just giving to you, but based on certain in-depth calculations. And unit here I'm using is crores, and for those who don't know crores, those people are not linked with Bharat India. For them, I just informed this 1 crore is equal to 10 million. 10 million is 1 crore because international unit is million, not crores. That's only for information. So what I spoke in crore, you can just put 10 there with that value and use that result in millions. Now come on to, as I stated before, that percentage of sun diameter to planet diameter. So we have to see what planet diameters are. We get information from references that Mercury is, say, 4,850 kilometers in diameter. Venus is 12,000 kilometers in diameter, and Earth remains 12,500, like this in geology. Applied geology is clearly given around that. So let us assume it's 12,500. The information says it is 12,000, but I'm putting what I studied in my subject of applied geology long back, and still I remember that. And Mars is 6,790 kilometers, whereas Jupiter, which is like the farther one, is, let's say, 1,42,980 kilometers in diameter. 1,42,000, and I'm also using lakh, but again, same thing. Lakh is not internationally spoken, so you can use millions in this. So 142,980 USA Jupiter. Then Saturn is 120,536 kilometers, or 1.20536 lakhs. Then Uranus is 51,118, is very not exactly in lakhs, and Neptune is 49,500, and dwarfed one Pluto is 2377 only. Now relation establishment between diameter of planet and, you can say, diameter of Sun, just for reference. They have a percentage relations. This Mercury is 0.35% of Sun diameter, and Venus is 0.86% of Sun diameter. Earth is 0.9% diameter, 0.9% of Sun diameter. Mars 0.49% of Sun diameter, and Jupiter is 10.28% of Sun diameter. Then Saturn is 8.67% of Sun diameter, and 3.67, that is Uranus is 3.67% of Sun diameter. And then 3.56 is Neptune 3.56% of Sun diameter. And then Pluto is a dwarf and 0.1709% of Sun diameter. Means only Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune are planets which are more than 1%. Jupiter is maximum one, this is 10.28% of Sun diameter, and Earth is only 0.9%, whereas minimum is dwarfed planet Pluto, which is 0.1709%. So this is a variation. It varies from 0.107 to 10.28, which is Jupiter. A great variation sizes, we say there's no equality. Varying of sizes, then there's varying of all properties. And I said earlier that if you say orbit, how many days it takes, and rotary habits is given that Mercury perpetually rotates on an axis in 59 days. This means 59 days. If it's one day there is Mercury, and Venus rotates in 243 days. 243 days, just think about 8 months. In 8 months, you see there's one day. It will live here, Earth, live on Earth for 8 months. Say you complete one day of Venus, then Earth. If we take relative relation of Earth only, we are considering Earth as relative, as datum line in comparison to all this, because we are on Earth. It's only relation. Then Mars is 1.025. This was approximately Earth and Mars approximately having same day. If you say Mars is 1.025 and Earth is 1, but diameters are different. Earth is 0.9 of Sun, 0.9% of Sun, is Mars is 0.49, and then there's other values similarly affected. And Jupiter is 0.3882 on rotational speed, means on Jupiter shorter sun. This is 0.3882 days of Earth. This is one day. 38 or 39% means you take how many hours are there out of 24 hours, you can just check it out. Saturn is 0.4167 and Uranus is 0.7083. Neptune is 0.667 and dwarf is 6.4. Dwarf is more other than in comparison to Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. All these four are less than 1. Besides Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune days are less than 1 of Earth days. But dwarf is 6.4. Day of Earth is 1 day. This is relation based on information received. I was just concentrate on orbital speed, which means having a revolution around Sun by these planetary bodies, along with their perpetual motion. Means there are two types of motion. One is perpetual, means they're rotating on their own axis, as well as they are rotating around Sun. On their own axis, I just referred, that's rotational, which varies from 0.6, 0.33882 to 243. Whereas this orbital motion, which is actually very important, that creates actually orbital speed, and I think that constitutes major portion of planetary dynamical equilibrium as a part of solar system. Major contribution comes from that, whereas part contribution could come from perpetual rotation. So Mercury says that it takes 88 days according to information. Mercury, I did not calculate this is all references. Mercury takes 88 days of Earth. It's not days on Mercury, means 88 days of Earth it takes to complete one revolution, orbital revolution of Sun. Then Venus consumes 224.7 days to complete one solar revolution, and Earth, we know all, is 365 days takes to complete its one revolution, which is a year, 12 months of a year it takes to complete one orbital solar revolution. Then it is Mars, which is going to take which takes 687 days to complete one solar revolution. Much difference between Earth and Mars, though it's near. Approximately, not a double exactly, but something is there. 687 means 318, I think, the difference of that. Yes, 318. This is, I think, yes, 5 to 7. 5 to 7. It is 6. 82. Yes, 382. 687 minus 365. 65 is 22. 322. Yes, 322 difference of days into complete revolution of Sun. Mars takes 687 and Earth takes this much. Lot of difference. And we just take into consideration Jupiter, Brihaspati, Jupiter. Well, I'm just taking names in Brihaspati. Also, I'll explain all those names. Jupiter, which takes 4,380 days of Earth. 4,380 days of Earth. How many is more than 10 years? I think more than 14 years around. You can calculate that. More than so means Jupiter is having 4,380 days to take one revolution. Or same thing is Saturn. Both are brothers, I think, and both are enemies according to some system. I don't know, but Jupiter and Saturn, 4,380, and Uranus, which is a distant one, that is 30,660, around you can say 80 years maybe, could be. We can calculate exactly. It may take 80 years to complete one solar revolution, whereas Neptune, which is further double to that, 60,225. I think Neptune never completes, in fact, and Uranus never completes in our lifetime. Maybe we can see in our lifetime they are two beautiful planets, Uranus and Neptune, or maybe people call it Rauketu or whatever, I don't know, but cannot complete one revolution in our lifetime. And then Pluto is father of all in this case. It takes those dwarf, they call it, scientists call it dwarf. It takes 90,520 days, means Uranus and Neptune never complete, and this will certainly never complete. I think we have to take 2 or 3 births if you want to see Pluto. Pluto completes one revolution. Beauty, I don't know what God was doing when it is like this. Really, I don't know what calculations from where he received and what other devatas they involved themselves for this calculation. Maybe Vishwakarma or someone else. He tried to do some mathematical calculations with this beautiful design and which we just boost in our engineering. But this is really, I don't know what parameters they use for this, but this solar system continues to work in equilibrium dynamic. And I think in every equilibrium it's been working since, you can say, millenniums or whatever years, most of crores and billions and trillions years deployed, or it was commissioned by God. Now, just a joke. I'll first of all just tell you what I mean. Mercury is called Mercury. This what you call Venus we call Shukr, Mercury. I don't know actually what we call it in Hindi. Para, Mercury is a para, but it's not para here. Venus is Shukra, and Earth is Prithvi, Mars is Mangal, Jupiter is Brihaspati, Saturn is Shani, Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, I think they're called Rahu, something like that. And actually, I don't remember what Mercury is about. Well, it's see later on. Now, I just covered first to seven columns of this 19 columns. I just to go into details so that a clear conception exists about what am I talking about. It's just an ordinary study of solar system, which maybe we studied longer, but now I want to know further on that. So distance from sun, which I explained to you, and still staying. Now, distance from sun and radius of sun are used in these calculations. And now, if you go to orbital speed, orbital speed, we have to check based on distance from sun, which I already referred, and is to find orbital speed means check we need calculate radius to center of sun from planet, and planets are not very large in diameter, very in comparison to sun. We know this it varies only in percent, few less than 1%. So I just calculated normally. And then for perimeter, circumference, you can say circumference of this the circle, which formula, mathematical formula, mensuration formula we use, 2 pi r pi d. Based on that, circumference is known, and travel days, hours, whatever it is, orbital number of days, and then convert it to hours. We can know speed of orbit around orbiting sun, kilometer per hour, which is worked out. And this speed is very also interesting one. Mercury, so you can say, moves in orbit with a speed of 87,175 kilometer per hour, followed by Venus, 63,437 kilometer per hour. Then Earth, with application of further information, last time I said 10888 or something, but basically it can be means approximately 10783. It means 1.08 lakhs, 1.08 lakhs per hour, kilometer per hour. Highest one in orbital planetons or planetary movement, and you are moving with that speed all the time, though we don't feel that. Mars, 43,556 kilometer an hour. Jupiter is not that fast, it's 23,287 kilometer per hour, and Saturn is up to 42,877. Uranus is 12 to 60, Neptune 9771, and dwarfed 6501. These are orbital speed around Sun. Then density. Density of this planetary system orbits, like planets. I got information from various searches and says that I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it looks right. Seems it's right. Mercury average gives 5.43 gram per cm cube. 5.43. Venus is 5.24, so approximately not much different. And Earth is 5.51, we know, because of my own system. I put URLs of Earth on this text in subject of economy, and we can refer there 5.51 because generally it's 2.5 or more average on crust, and it is around 5 in your mantle, and in core it's around 8, so average is 5.51, which actually seems okay. Then Mars is 3.93, it's lighter one, Mars. Well, there are many type of gases also given there, but I have not considered gases at 6. I was not chemical talking to you, so later will talk about that. I'm just taking so far only mathematical parameters, or you can say physical parameters. Chemical parameters will later, after finding many searches on collecting them, I will discuss. Not in this one. It's just for measurement, just for thinking of how this system works in physical form. You can say engineering form. I consider as a part of engineering as to how this equilibrium is existing, because we are expert of equilibrium in both static as well as dynamic based on various actions on these bodies in our system. This is called dead load, live load, and seismic load, thermal load, whatever loads called, we name them. But here it's not that much because there's a magnitude of even illumination load is too high for other loads. So if you go to Jupiter, this is 1.33. Further lighter. What is 1.33? Can you imagine? Saturn is 0.0687, so less than Uranus, 1.27. Neptune is 1.64, and Pluto, oblique dwarf, is 1.27. You see, varying range of densities, 1.27 to 5.51 is 1.27. Before that is, sorry, 1.0687 also there. So small density. Saturn 1.27, 1.33, and 1.64, 3.93, 5.24, 5.43, 5.51, 0.0687, and then 5.51. What a range! Yes, after all, what that designer, that innovator of this system, God, what sort of calculations, what sort of designs he checked in to constitute these bodies? It's a question of brilliance. I don't know. We have not done this in our engineering system, but this is really a challenge to all of us. Is this construction of such bodies in nature, in the form of structural constitution, structural compositions of these bodies, which are objects. For me, these are like buildings, like tunneling, various tunneling layers. I mean, it's really interesting one to conceive how could that designer, and that to long back, since, let's say, trillions years back, how could think of this? And how could generate these formulas? We boast very too much that we have done this and we have done that. In fact, we have done nothing if you compare to this one. Yes. Varying designs. And then if you say density, I have just discussed, and volume of this, it is, let's say, cubic kilometers, and you take mercury, which is 5.997 into 10 to the power 10 cubic kilometers. 5.97 to 10 to the power 10 cubic kilometers. Venus is 9.05 into 10 to the power 11. His elementary is double, approximately 5.9 to 9, 5.9 to 9, say less than double, but another figure is 11 it is, so it's much more than that. Earth, which is, Earth means lithosphere, you can say, solid part of Earth, which is 1.02 into 10 to the power 12. Then Mars, which is 1.64 into 10 to the power 11 cubic kilometers. Jupiter, which is 1.53 into 10 to the power 15. Depending upon size, you say more diameter, more volume. And Saturn, 9.17 into 10 to the power 14. Followed by then Uranus, which is 6.99 into 10 to the power 13. And Neptune, which is 6.35 to 10 to the power 13. And dwarf Proto, 7.03 into 10 to the power 9. Such is range of volume. Average density based on gram per cell can be converted to kilometers per cube. It's not a big deal. So same thing comes as 5.43 goes to, which is mercury, 1 5.4 goes to 5.43 into 10 to the power 9. And similarly, this goes 5.24 goes to 5.24 into power 9 and moves on accordingly. I leave that one. Then planet mass is the mass is given and it can be calculated in tons. It's given there. Example: Mercury 3.24 10 per 20, then Venus 4.74 10 per 21 in unit, and Earth is 5.6 into 10 per 21. Means I'm just trying to say the mass of these planets, and this is Earth is 5.63 into 10 to the power 20 means to say you place 21 zeros after this figure, that much it is. And Mars is 6.44 into 10 to the power 20. And Jupiter is 2, say, into 10 to the power 24. Similarly, Saturn is 6.3 into 10 to the power 22. And Uranus is 8.88 into 10 to the power 22. And Neptune is 1.04 into 10 to the power 23. Then Pluto dwarf is 8.9 into 10 to the power 18. I'm just speaking on all because maybe you have a table, you may be reading that just for clarification. This is something you cannot get into that. It is what it is about. Now we are moving to column 14. This is planet's propulsion force. When something is moving perpetually as well as in orbital motion, some force certainly acts on that. We know this engineering. Either external force must be there or sound force. And I'm just I'm naming it proportional force, though I don't know because we use it. We can say that force, and we calculated that one. It comes out per hour. I say this is Mercury. Mercury, which gives you 2.83 and 25 zeros further. You can say 2.83 into 10 power 25 or 283 and a complete up to 25 zeros. Then Venus, which is really more than that, it's 3.01 into 10 power 26, means further higher than this is planetary forces. Then is you just imagine when this force is working there, this much magnitude force is working there in that system at near location of that or in vicinity of these planets, what type of environment must be there? We have to imagine that. It's not silent, it's not stationary, it must be having certain kind of turbulence, no lamina there, a turbulence, air turbulence, vacuum turbulence, what sort of turbulence must be there? Earth, which we are living on, says 6.08 to 10 to the power 26 is propulsive force. This force is working all times there, and you don't feel it. This force must impact us. I don't know what way it impacts us. It must. After all, force is force. Then Mars is 2.81 into 10 to the power 25 unit. Then Jupiter is 4.7 into 10 to the power 28. Though it's far away from us, what's a part of this equilibrium? It's a part of SS solar system. So somewhere there must be some relations among all these planets which deal with energy created by this dynamism, which must be for us. It may be for our good or bad, I cannot say. Saturn is 2.7 into 10 to the power 27. Then Uranus is 1.09 into 10 to the power 27, and same applies to Pluto, and dwarf is 5.81 into 10 to the power 22. Means we never consider more than billion or trillion, but here, 22, 25, this and that, this and all these zeros are coming in. These units are not known to us, but I even have checked into 10 to the power 3003. Also, this one unit, maybe it's not used in here, but there's also a million units. You can search on dictionary, on your searches and find so many more mathematical power names there in our system or English system, somewhere else. It is there. It's interesting for engineers to know that. It's not simply going up to billions and trillions and closing chapter. It's not that. Now, how many times this propulsion force, you can say, sun divided by other planets, the propulsion force generated by sun by its force, by its motion, by its revolution on its own, and what other planets do have. We can establish a relative relations, and that is here. It is in numbers because there's going to be no uniform ratio of these same units. So number is that if I take mercury, I'll find this ratio of propulsive force is 78,211. Means sun is having 78,211 times force if you compare to Mercury. And Venus drops down to 7,353 only. Whereas Earth, which is further down, 3639, 3,639, means even half to Venus, half, and much less than Mercury. So this variation speaks volumes of research. When we go to Mars, it is 78,820, means it's higher than relation between Sun and Mercury. Sun and Mars is 78,820. Approximately, you can say equal, but it's more than that. And Jupiter is only 47. I don't understand this. So see beautiful variations of this structural mechanism of a solar system. Jupiter is 47 only, means if you divide this by that, means sun over that, it's only 1 over 47 of power of sun, and Saturn is 890. Means Jupiter 47, Saturn is 819, and Uranus is 2031. 2013 means this is again, and Neptune is 2173. Whereas biggest is Pluto, which is dwarfed one, and it is 38089391, which is 3.81 crore. Yes, 3.81 crore. It is, or you can say, 38 million times. This ratio means the sun power to Pluto is this. It's strange, means it's really very complex relation among sun and varying planets. After that, if you go to sun's self-planetary motions, relative propulsion, if you take in percentage wise, there's just reflection of same number into percentage wise, means nothing additional information but conversion into percentages, which can be read enough. There's something negative, something positive. Planetary distance from sun is there, and surface area. Planetary surface area, you take that one into your consideration, because surface area is a very insignificant information on these planets for projection purpose, because the sun is sending energy all time, light energy, or you can say electronic energy, or you may say radiations, or photons, sending, transmitting from its surface to its body to surfaces of those planets, and by virtue of that transmission to their internal parts. And Mercury is having a surface area of kilometer square unit, which is 738981113. Difficult to read in immediately. Yeah, 7.38 square kilometer crores. Crores is square kilometer. Let me check again. Yes, 7.39 square crores square kilometers. Then Venus is 45 point something to 3 crores square kilometer. And then this is Earth, which is 49 crore square kilometer. Mars is 14.48 crores square kilometer. Then Jupiter is, it is in short form 6.4 into 10 to the power 10 square kilometer. And Saturn is 4.56 4 into 10 to the power 10 square kilometer. Then Uranus is 8.2 into 10 to the power 9 square kilometers. Whereas Neptune is 7.7 into 10 to the power 9 square kilometers. And dwarfed Pluto is then its indirect value 17750404, 1.775 crores square kilometers. These are values of parametric enjoyed or endowed on these planets by forces of nature, and this is only study of parameters, not in depth of designs. We cannot have that much without that much knowledge, understanding mechanism of solar designer, whoever he was, I don't know, maybe God himself or some through some engineer or some scientist. What could happen there, we don't know. I'll go further details into that about sun, which I consider a planet, though it's not a planet. I will say that diameter, as we just discussed, so sun is 1391020, 1.39 millions kilometer, 13.9 lakhs, which volume of sphere mandates or speaks a lot that it is 4.49 into 10 to the power 17 cubic kilometers. You can say how much it is, since you cannot even imagine, though it is a practical one. It's in physical form, but beyond our imagination. Its constitution of a body such size, it's this big size means diameter of 1.39 million kilometers. How many times of Earth you can imagine? A constitution of one body. What power is there in nature that can constitute this much? Volume is this much, it's collection of this much material of that requirement. And it's a very, very light material. It is not, if you compare density of this one to that one, it's a very light material. And it is 1.41 gram per cm cube. 1.41, whereas you say Earth is 5.51. Around 25% of that, whatever to just around less than 25% of that means 25% approximately weight of Earth of the density of Earth is this volume 4.49 into 10 to the power 17. Imagine what sort of brain is there, what sort of constitution composition is there, and how that body is in equilibrium for so long since this solar system was constructed, or worked upon. And surface area is 6.08 into 10 to the power 12 square kilometers. astonishing. And its perimeter. 4370018.2 kilometers. Means if you take say circumference of Earth, it's not that much, very small. If you take 12,500 and you multiply by pi 3.3 times of that is around more than 40,000 kilometers. But here it is 43 lakhs of 104 million kilometers. In density, I just says 1.41, which speaks a lot about this material, light materials, and because illuminous material, say it's not illuminifying material is such a property in this that can transmit power of light, power of photons. We call photons this in rays, sun rays, which is built up of photons, and number of photons we cannot say. This photons means this material is that much qualified, that much rich in its luminous index that can from there it transmits even to you can say distant object with that lumens, with that lux of, as say on Earth it's lux of 500 we need for this, 300 we need for this area, 5 or 400 we need for the area. So this illumines the whole solar system continuously without fail. So what you can say power of its property of illuminous nature, then its mass is 1.99 into 10 to the power 24, and most important thing is its escape velocity and luminosity. Mass etc is there, but let's say luminosity and escape velocity. Luminosity means we are drawing light waves from there, rays from there, sun rays from there, which are built of all photon systems. We are getting because of that electrical energy, or you must say because of their light energy, we are getting heat also, which is converted to heat itself. So escape velocity is very important here, which is also in kilometers per hour, and it's even there one information which is about 22.23 or 24 millions per hour. 22, 23, 72 zero is written there information. So it is 2.2, I said 22, 2.2 million was yes, 2.2, sorry, not 25, 2.2 million kilometer per hour. Means if you want to, first of all, reach there, you have to protect yourself from being attracted by solar power. Otherwise, it will pull you into its body and you will be no more. Escape velocity means that, which is a velocity which is more than, means if you reach there, you have to protect yourself from sun absorption, solar absorption. If your vehicle is such, you reach there, that vehicle must have at least 2.5 million kilometer per hour reaching velocity, and maybe more there. Means I don't think that we have certain strength that allows us to get 2.5 or more million kilometer per hour vehicle speed in near future. I cannot say what happens in future further, but I don't think that even anyone in our scientist world, they are equipped well to produce a vehicle of say more than say 3 million kilometer per hour. It's impossible, looks impossible now. Maybe, I don't know, but to my information, I haven't done, we haven't reached there. Then escape velocity means people say NASA is working to reach sun. Somebody said to inform me, and well, this is all imagination. First of all, reaching there from Earth, which is approximately 15 crore or 150 million, kilometer from here. It still looks a task, it's impossible, but it is science, it is engineering. I cannot say, nobody can say, but theoretically speaking, or conservatively speaking, it looks like an impossible task in near future. Maybe in many centuries away, I cannot say. So just imagine you are a son. Imagine you are his son. How do you feel when there is you can say luminosity is 3.83 into 10 to the power 26 watt on whole day. Can you tolerate that? Even if there's a home, say, use you use floodlight in your home, can you tolerate that? Can your eyes can your eyes accept that? Not only eyes, can your body accept that? I don't think that is practically sustainable for human being. If we change our constitutional body, there's something else. Maybe robots could do that, but I'm not sure of robots even. So this escape velocity, shall we be able to build and reach there first of all? Means how many hours it will take even if we travel 15 crore kilometers having a speed of 2.5 million kilometer an hour. You can see yourself. Then this luminosity and planet mass is given there. Internal planets, internal propulsion force, that is for sun, and this is 2.21 into 10 to the power 30 TKM per hour. And very interesting part is that we have to see further calculations on this. And now escape velocity, I'm just going further in this, that first let us see envelope of solar system. Envelope, I mean to say all these planets are there, and just imagine volume of that imaginary sphere which contains these all planets including sun, and that volume is imaginary volume or imaginary sphere, and that is an envelope kind of situation which is not seen but there. Energy is within that envelope. I'm talking of that envelope, and that envelope is there, which you can say is 10 to power 11 is its 10 to power 11 is its, you can say, diameter of this planet, and then you must say radius is 5 into 10 to power 10. This diameter which I'm telling, if you go to see diagram of solar system as I explained in PDF files available, that diagram is available, and that is giving 9.9990 crores kilometers. So radius is this much, and I'm using value of pi, and imaginary volume is there, which is 5.24 into 10 to the power 32, that is kilometer per cube. This is imaginary volume of solar system, and its spherical volume of all these planets. This is 2.58 into 10 to the power 15. It has summed up volumes of all these solid bodies, and this is this one. And if you just consider percentage of solid in space in this volume, which is 4.93 into my 9 into 1 over 10 to the power 16, this percent is so small. And this is negligible, means the volume of these bodies is negligible if you compare to total volume of this imaginary envelope. So illumination envelope projected surface area, you see whatever power of illumination reaches this planet is only, you can say, 50% of 50% of projection is not 50%, 50% of total surface area, because projection cannot be 100%. It's around spherical bodies, and half value we projected one time is 3.1416 into 10 to the power 22 kilometers square. Then planetary propulsion force is there is 5.3 to into 10 power 28. This is total force of propulsion. So what derivation I want to get is, I want to know actually that how many numbers of solar system could be there in our sky space. So that is very interesting to know. So that's what I say. I have to calculate it somewhere here. I also calculated planet's surface area square kilometers, and that's already given therein. So if I say I want to know what I said, number of solar system, which is just an imaginary and just you can say entertaining information. It's not scientific information, just entertaining information. I cannot do that. So numbers of solar system at 2.3 into 10 to the power 25 and 1 over 4 sky volume coverage. What I would say, if I consider the skyline location to be 2.3 into 10 to the power 25 kilometers, and considering further only 25% usable space for embedding the solar systems, leaving 75% volume free. Just like we take in building, this person is coverage, this person is open area, like that I'm talking, means if you calculate that, I use this power 2.3 or 10 to the power 25 kilometers based on calculations of where micron is 10 to the power minus, but this value is 10 to the power minus 55 to 10 to the power minus 60, upraised one from 10 to the power minus 6. Using that one, I have worked out, and it comes to using a formula, arithmetic formula. This comes to total number of solar systems, say 2.43 into 10 power 37. It could be less, it could be more, but don't consider 37, consider billions and trillions like that. This is what is universe could be, and further we can calculate number of stars. I'm not going to do that in this one because that is also based on imagination only, no reality. I'm just going to speak something about this solar system diagram, which is here in this form. Solar system diagram, which is, you know, yeah. So here I just reflected same information, and the sun is a sun here in between, black one, black one of solid fill in hatch, and this radius is crores related near radius crores is in crore radius in crores kilometers, and solar system. Sun is shown at center, parameters are there, and information was written on 21st November 2019. And here I have given a small table of this information, which names as planets, axis rotation, orbit rotation, planet diameter, axis speed, sun dia, sun distance, orbit. It's the same information which is available on that table of Excel is just posted here. There's nothing new in this. Main information here is diameter of planets and number of days actual rotation and orbital one, and axis speed and sun distance and orbital speed. Just for diagrammatic information it is, and then it is about diagram is having how many circles. You can imagine yourself. It should be same number here it is, and this is gone. Diagram is missed somewhere. Yeah. So if start with sun and then it goes to blow up is impossible here in this laptop. So this is, you know, there is Earth, here is Venus also, is one circle as Sun, then other circle is 10.89. Let's see. All names of planets used to build this diagram are there. There's one is Sun circle, then one circle, second, third, three internal circles. You must see three circles. Then there is fourth. Wait a minute. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 circles surrounding Sun, which indicates number of orbits, number of planets. And if you see the outermost, this is 495 radius, and it's 495 crores kilometers. It's not 495 meters, it's in crores. I use this scale to compose this diagram using small scale but in crores. And this is for outer one, and internal one is 449 point something. Then it is for Saturn, which is about for 27 crores here, and after that is then it is Jupiter, which is 10.89 crores. Some one various diameters means yes, Jupiter is 143.47 crores, and then it is other one Mars or other. All these are given here, and there's this is one maximum is outside diameter, that is, if you see on the right side of the circle, outermost circle is given 990. It's 990 crores kilometer, but in my calculations of this space, I was in 1000 crores kilometer. How to find volume of solar system, imaginary volume of this envelope. This diagram was very difficult to convert into scales. And then on this side is another one, which is typical network. Typical network, which means for solar system indicated with the universal flow, that Sol has nothing to do with star. This is kind of structural engineering talk of solar system, and this is something to do with Sol system, which I have used in my other talks of Sol. But it is all are connected there, and these diagrams are valid for that because solar system is same. There's a flow of Sol from all this. This is this one information I have put it there. Now I will come back to our previous Excel sheet, and that is the evolution of solar system, which is very, very significant. And these notes which I put, we will talk this now because it's very important to understand. We are going through all these parameters. These parameters are now basis to understand what we are talking about, what we are doing about. See, we have just reached the solar system comprises of various planets. Now, this is nothing to explain much in that. It comprises of these planets which are known to us. It's exactly based on our. So we know all that. So there's no much need of explanation. Only explanation is that we have to know their relative positions, what astronomy teaches us. And so you may say this is kind of supplementary study of astronomy. Means astronomy gives the current position of working planets of relative, means where is their latitude, departure, or angles or location. That's astronomy, but this is just an imaginary study based on various information collected. So solar system comprises of this information, these planets working in dynamic equilibrium. Or you may use some other word also. Let's say I use dynamic. You may use your way just to understand this. It's not stationary, that is very, very clear. These planets are revolving around their respective axes. That's most important, around axis. And this is also a kind of imagination because we don't feel Can you feel that I am traveling at the speed of 1,600 kilometers per hour? We cannot even imagine. Yes, we can see, oh, sun started in morning in east and it sets in west. Though we know sun is not moving around, but we are moving, yet it is relative. Yes, we are moving, that is evident from there every day. And we feel that it's moving and we continue to keep an eye on that and wait for hours, and you'll find there's a displacement on that position. If you can do practically, you can do that. I have done that. Just stay there, watch for even half an hour, 1 hour. When you can see that, means in daytime you cannot see that. Early morning or evening time, you can view. They may say, go and do Surya Namaskar. That is something religious. But I'm not talking about that. You just watch there, just focus on that. Early morning you can see that. Evening it starts called sunsetting. At that time, when you watch for half, about 30 minutes or 1 hour, you'll find this little displacement from your starting position when you leave that space. That there's a movement on that, and that's what we call this rotation. Our outward and our Earth is moving in this perpetual motion, and that's an evidence of that. Well, we cannot if we see evidence of orbital movement by our visual system, but it is working because we see this year seasons are changing, things change. Then planets other than Sun are also revolving around Sun with defined velocities, speeds as we said, discussed now. And Earth is an example itself. Lithosphere of Earth is a great example with a speed, considerable high speed. In consideration to us, we say it's not high in natural consideration, but in human consideration, moving at a speed of more than 1 lakh is not easy in physical forms. It's very, very interesting one. Actually, I was just thinking, how, what will speed of moving? And I just think, why not to calculate that? And it's really easy, though it's available in scientific terms. It must be somewhere. I didn't find this in books or elsewhere. It's just the reason I went to study all this and try to assimilate information so it may submit it to people just for information sharing. So sun is moving more than 1 lakh. It's a considerable high speed, 1 lakh or point 0.1 million, point 0.1 million kilometers per hour. Imagine you are in space actually. You are already in space. You say you are going to space, you are already in space with higher level of space, not in lower level of space. Such a so you are moving around at this speed. It's imaginary, a miraculous means there's some engineer, there's some scientist who is working for us. Means if there's a system adjusting one, it's working, it's stationary or non-stationary, is dynamic. But there must be some operational control. There must be some operator working for this planet. If you consider this a plant, if you consider this is a facility, this is a facility, natural facility, solar systems like a gas facility plant, or it may be some other plant which we do. And this is a plant provided by nature, and in which 9 factories are working, 9 industries are working, 9 refineries are working. All these planets you may consider as objects of refinery. They are working for you. They are working for your planets, facilities, and we are using them. Take it in that way. Then we know how many days, rotational days and orbital days are with us. We know that, and that's also very interesting information. Information is important, is how much we can gather from systems available, which God has contributed to us, to humanity, and that is very, very important. I cannot even imagine what do we know about nature. Well, I am sure we know nothing about nature. In fact, we know very little about nature. The solar system, this we know, but we know still very little. It's nothing more, nothing no much. How actually this is all time generating, that is also a question mark. How sun has been there for so many years and still working on, from where it's getting its input, that's also very important. Where is the raw material, from where it has come, all that. It's all imaginations, all assumptions, all you can say, nothing reliably scientific. It's only scientific, but not reliably scientific, and scientists haven't answered yet, and engineers haven't answered. And if say these both days and then diameter and volume of each planet we are given, that is only for personal information, but volume and this and balance are very important one. Keeping them working together for so long is a big question mark to be investigated. Then each planet on rotating speed and speed around sun which I discussed. Then and propulsion force is very very important. Means that is a point where I try to consider this. Is so much force that when you drive a car or you drive something or engine, you say it's a propulsion force. You create brake horsepower in your car. My car is so much brake power, BHP, and that's working on from other speed means maybe your 80% or 70% of your original horsepower. That's what here is force. It can be converted to horsepower, but that is generating, and that is supposed to cause some motion around space, and which of course force is available, but force is distributed uniformly or turbulently around its surfaces. So that force can be disseminated, means cannot be considered as such, keeping in volume, this much volume and size and surface area of these planets, which are in millions of kilometers. So that is also not practically felt with, but it is there, it exists. And we have to take that as how much energy is already working there. It's all energy. Means we are living in energy volume. We are surrounded by a certain volume of energy which we don't feel because we are used to that. Just like we calculate, we consider atmospheric pressure in hydraulics or in fluid mechanics, watch pressure is there, we calculate all that. But this is this so much done, so much pressure is acting on you, but we don't feel that because we are used to that. Same thing here. We are used to this force, this energy force applied on these planets, and ultimately that would come to each of us because of we are part of that. Then further moving down to rotational speed, such as a propulsion force, yes, and this propulsion force I think can be used by human being. Ultimately, it's energy, and maybe our souls are energized by this force. Who knows? Souls which we flow in dreams somewhere, or nature supplies to us energy. Maybe nature uses these objects to transfer energy to us. Could be. Maybe there is some refinement to that energy which comes from God for each and every person of us who belongs here. This energy could be there. Could be, you can say, refined further or drawing values of properties of those planets and then coming to us. This could be that way. Now, this is some other subjects, but it is possible. You may say kind of filtration, or you can say kind of screening of that energy, original energy, and converting to this energy and then coming to us. After that is respective centrifugal forces indicated there. Forces must be there, some ball is rotating, there was no force, and that force is actually there. It's only a question of calculation. It doesn't mean that it impacts on your body. It's only mathematical subject calculation. Then parameters respecting sun are indicated separately as we discussed just now. Then each Earth rotates the speed of 1637 km per hour at surface, as I discussed, and around Sun with 1.08088 lakh kilometers per hour. This is most important. And escape velocity, as I said, explained, it still stands same, so all's good. And problem is these planets are located vast distances, kilometers away. If these are located near to sun, means there would be no planet at all. Sun would have pulled these planets into its bodies and eat them, or can say disappear. These planets would have disappeared. But must be worked out by a power, a superpower. How it should work means they should be air receiving energy from sun and helping people. Solar is and energy is ultimately coming to you as medicine or daylight, or you can say a power that helps you build up and think and work out. You say that I say was escape velocity and then diameter of sun is only mathematical parameter, but this is vast means 1.39 million kilometers. You think so? Imagine, just imagine means how far it is. Means, they have gone to moon. Scientists have reached there, unmanned one, but it's on itself so big that Earth is very small if you compare to this. So I mean, just imagine you're living on lithosphere, which is just 12,500 kilometer in dimension and size, and you're getting support from a body majority of the sun is 1.3 million in size itself and 15 or 150 million kilometers from you, and you're getting energy from there. It's a miraculous. It's said that it takes 8 seconds for the sun to reach sign. I'm not sure that will take 8 seconds. See what speed it's coming to Earth itself. It can say it travels 8 seconds and 15 crore kilometers. You say in 1 second, maybe approximately 2 crore kilometers in 1 second. No, not 1 second. I mean to say 8 seconds taking to reach sun, reach Earth. This is still travels since 15 crore kilometers. Yes, right. Means it's taking two crore kilometers in 1 second. If it's taking 2 crore kilometers in 1 second to travel, if you multiply this 2 crore by 3600 seconds, 2 crore by 3 is 7200, 7200, you can say kilometer per hour. Just imagine what speed it is. So I say this is very miraculous parameter we try to understand. Then Earth is so rich this way in support from nature, and I think correctly that Earth is a living being planet, probably in this body and supported by motion, as energy in whatever form, solar form, then on Earth it is, which further results in Earth greenery form because water bodies are available here and Earth has a system to work in to create or to enjoy various seasons. Rain, sun is there, air is there, permanent air is there. Though we have polluted that one, that's our fault, not engineer's fault. That God engineered. It's not his fault. It's fault of our people. We destroyed the pure air which he provided at initial stages, and we are not even thinking to destroy that in purity. Means we are not able to think yet how to extract that carbon dioxide from polluted air, purified air, and we have to verify that means how to do that. And nobody is thinking out of 7 million inhabitants on Earth. All are enjoying the 7 billion inhabitants of the Europe and Africa, maybe our country or some other country. No one is serious. They speak only without impacting on or initiating any concrete action, and it impacts everybody. Everybody counts money, everybody looks into economy, they don't even look something else. Some are thinking, some are not thinking, some are only staging drama, some are not doing anything. Speaking is one thing, acting is another thing, and they're doing something else. I heard one news that somebody was in Iceland tried to extract carbon dioxide from air. He tried that one, but I don't know result because he successfully did that. Means plan was to extract carbon dioxide available in weather in air and pump it in liquid form to rocks so that the carbon dioxide stays embedded in rock structure. Well, idea is not bad. I don't know technically how sound it is, but it's very big considerations. It takes time. Some China-like countries did something also, but all is ad hoc basis. No solution is permanent. Question is, we want a constant working on that. How to use that? Because it's not our body. We are responsible to spoil that. and still the use of plastic and other forms every country is doing. In whole Europe, you see, all rivers are polluted one. All rivers are flooded with plastic in water, and that is really unfortunate. So this source, sun, is our main source of energy, main source of life, because this results in food, in crops, in grain, in everything, utilizing further energy of water, energy of air, and we get food to live in packaged form, and it's in a form that we can't even imagine. Just imagine we are getting every eatable in packaged form, and we did not recognize that in earlier stages. We did not value that. We say, oh, we have packed this gift very well and it looks very nice. But you imagine if you take fruit, everything's packed one, you have to remove this cover and then consume that. If you take your grains, rice or wheat, it's all in packet form. You have to remove that. If you take potato, tomato, whatever you take, and your body as well, everything in packet form. Just think of organization that's working there in nature. Means you can imagine, and particularly being an engineering person, you can imagine much better than others, and that's very important. And then we have to protect ourselves as well. If God teaches you, God taught you in the beginning itself, I'm sending you a packed one. You too are packed. So why not to learn it? We have to protect everything what is given to us. But we are saying we luxurious people, careless people. Well, going further, this is internal profession force of sun. I just worked out and I just talked to you. Then number varies from, I explained to you, 47. That's where you can say, and this is about solar propulsion force variation in numbers. We divided solar force to force of force created by planets, and that system variation is 47 to 78,500. That is a theoretical one. It could be if I get more information wherein this information is not reliable, we may change that one. But till now, it's only. And Earth has a relation, the variation 36,300 times the solar energy is that much. Multiplied 3631 by Earth's force, you get solar propulsion force. And it says Earth is moving at speed of 10,000, 1,78,38 kilometers per hour. Oh no, which is highest planetary speed. So this was we just studied, and we want to use this as well. Means we have to see if we are getting this power from sun. This is also a power, you are moving with this speed means there must be some kind of additional energy which we don't feel coming to us in such a means you are moving with this speed. There must be some verification. There must be some, you can say, a kind of impact on you when you speed such as, and you feel some kind of, and that though it doesn't apply directly to our ear, but some energy must be somewhere. This means if you stay in touch with nature as much as possible, you must be getting certain form of impact from these energies, and which should be either good for your health or maybe not good for your health, but you must be getting something. And that's what you feel when you're outside there, or you're outside of your home, you're in open air, whatever time of 24 hours, you shall find some change in your body, some pleasure effect or some detrimental effect. Both are here. When you are in pollution time, when pollution exists, you feel bad, some smell of smell comes to you because of those carbon dioxide, methane, etc. in the body. And when you are near somewhere, the smelling of H2S means you are affected directly by this system. I'm not going to astrology, I'm not solar subjects. I'm just trying to see how this system can impact us. You may be feeling sometimes when you are home, you feel confined to your room, and when you are outside somewhere, say in beach, on some open area, you will find different type of thoughts and come to your mind, and you feel a little of relaxed that you're outside of your confinement of room and you're open. You feel blessed because first of all you see others which you cannot see in more room when you're confined in, and when outside you see whole physically, and it changes affect of your mind, visual architecture of your vision literally is little changed immediately, and you feel in different thing. Maybe you feel relaxed or you may feel over tension. I cannot say if your thoughts of stress continue in your mind, you may not get this relaxation benefit. So as I said that, what I noted in here, earth is very small, we know it's very very small, but it's for us, and we have been living on this earth for centuries and millenniums, and we are continuing there. This means we are suited to us to live on this earth. Yes, we are suited to live on this earth. Now if I'm a devil, example, suppose I turn devil, I want to play with this earth. You see what I'm talking about? Because I want to play with this earth. Many scientists are there who created nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, or destructive bombs. Again, say, of course, I consider them devils. They are scientists, but devil scientists. They thought negative. They thought to destruct. They never thought to construct. No problem. This is a profession to think negative. They thought. Now someone comes and thinks, okay, this is Earth. I want to destroy this. Some devil then can think. And maybe scientist, maybe a space scientist or rocket scientist, and just simply can think to destroy this. It's very easy. Send rocket outside out of space and bring it back, protect any point, and done. This is devil people. Then do that. I'm talking about because Earth is not a stationary object. It's fast moving object. Speed of 1 lakh 0.1 million kilometer is not a fun. Yes, you can't digest that space as an individual. You cannot. You cannot even digest a speed of 70 kilometers and you stand in some train door on some car, open car, you cannot digest that speed even. You will be imbalanced. Of course, vibratorily imbalanced. If Earth is moving, a small body of Earth, only small ball of 12,500 kilometers, it's moving at such a speed. One direction is rotational speed, means say it's moving x and y axis, and with O as origin as center. It's moving and then it's moving around sun, a radial motion, radial speed. The third body comes, means both powers, rotational speed and orbital speed, both are energy creators, both are energizing. The body is energizing, or it is producing energy, or it is getting energy. Ultimately, energy is working. Two energies are already working there, keeping this body in equilibrium with relation to solar system. And it continues, it's constant. Then a third party comes. A third party comes and attacks on this. Higher speed means higher imbalance, higher impact. Its own impacts on this. In for you can say one time, two times, on few seconds. Imagine what should happen to our system. What should happen to Earth? I don't think good will happen. Not good will happen. This third force will come and this will imbalance two forces, and resultant will be very dangerous. Very dangerous resultant. That's what I want to say. Though it's not easy, but it is not impossible. So I say Earth can be endangered. Earth can be endangered and its existence can be challenged by some devil mind. Then Impossible to design currently a vehicle to reach distance from Earth to Sun more than 15 crores kilometers. And if it reaches there by chance, let's say we are very strong, send it, consider what number of hours it takes, 15 crore kilometer travel. First of all, just think how long it will take to reach there. And if you intensify further reaching, moving with low speed and reaching there, but raising speed by some mechanism there itself, their sun, just to reach there. Means just imagine as possible. Means what should we speed then to reach there? 15 crore kilometers. If you say 15 crore, you travel, can you travel one crore kilometer a day, or you can travel 10 lakhs kilometer a day, and then how much? Or can you travel with 5,000 kilometers per hour? You can see how much time it will take. I've not worked out that one. I'll have to later on and do something else for further observations and searching on this, research on this, like calculations. But remember, you have to encounter escape velocity. And if you can't encounter, then you will escape. And your kit will escape. And this is where we have to concentrate. Means you cannot take that risk as well. And maybe it's not going to happen in current, I think even this century. It will take another century to think and work out. Well, so no vehicle is there that can encounter reaching our sun, and illumination is too high. Your eyes cannot tolerate that. And even planets cannot digest that. In propulsion force, we have discussed. Then solar system envelope, we have discussed, very interesting one. Only this purpose was to find number of solar system working there, which is just a kind of value information I want to give, though practically it doesn't work. We cannot see systems are there. But one calculation we can take out, and that is, suppose I have not worked out here and not projected here. When I know surface area of sky sphere, when I know surface area of sky sphere, for example, I know that area, and surface area can be found. There's no problem in that. And imagine, just imagine, it's not measured one, it's not scientific, it's all imagination. I keep star to star locations say same as Earth to Sun, 15 crore kilometers, Earth to Sun. Based on that, if I calculate, I may find some answer. Means I find surface area of this sky, which is 2.3 into 10 to the power 25 or more, and making division of this spacing of these stars to be 15 crore kilometers each. Then you can say if this is surface area on an average, this is you can say distribution of unity. You'll certainly find number of people who's using this space, this surface area, who are allowed there or not allowed there. This is what squared, and we can find that surface area, and keeping a spacing of this much. You must say if you keep 15 crore kilometers a star, two star, and then it's the units comes to 3 per unit square kilometers. And you can find very easily number of stars possibly. and that could be 2.7 into 10 to the power 24, 75, which is in that range. But that's only for calculation purpose. No one can count anything. No one can see practically what's happening. Cannot see. But I think that may work. You can calculate yourself. I done. You find on this word file of hypothesis they put in there is available. This information is available there for just reference. You can see that one. So imaginary envelope is over, internal propulsion force is over, and then luminosity is over surface area, and then if you just see sun imparts luminosity to all planets, and that is at 6.3 into 10 to the power 13 watts per square kilometer of its surface area. That came after considering that enormous power of illumination onto this total projections of surfaces. So per square kilometer it is 6.3 into 10 to the power 13 watts, which is absorbed by these planetary surfaces, which is received from sun. So 6.3 into 10 to the power 13 watts per square kilometer is the distribution of surface energy, on surface energy from solar power. And illumination to planets of exposed surfaces, as I said, only 50% would take that, and that answer is written there in this cell. Surface area is planet surface area is 1.7 is 10 to the power 11, and this comes using a factor of zero point 0.5 to the surface area. It is 634,775 and 50 square kilometers. Planet's exposed surface area uses this energy. So assume we have done many parameters of this energy of sun, and we have tried to know how many could be, can say how many could be how many could be informations could be there from this further information, and we have to research out then. So once again I read this for you, which is very important conclusion, and this will, so that you at least refresh something. I know that you are not going to read that. People are not interested in reading documents. This is our experiences. Neither people read documents, nor people write nowadays. Culture has changed. So, and it's also means it's shameful for everyone to watch videos of knowledge. They are interested in watching videos of cartoons or videos of films, and they're not interested in watching videos of knowledge or something else. So it's very difficult to let people pull to your status so that they can be, shameless. They can be everything, everywhere, but not working on studies. And working on studies is very important. So before I used to write so much so that people can read, but I think generation coming in are not studious, not interested in studies, they're interested in only speaking on mobiles and all that. And there is a reason that the standards of people in education is falling gradually, drastically. But life has to move. No one can stop it. So I'll just read again what notate, what comments got from above. I'll say this table gives certain information of the solar system based on various references used. थोड़ा मैं फिर बता देता हूँ हिंदी में आपको, तो हिंदी भी थोड़ा बताना जरूरी है देश के लोगों को। बाहर तो कोई मतलब नहीं हिंदी से, लेकिन यहाँ तो हिंदी या हमारी कोई और भाषा खाली भाषा नहीं, हर एक का विश्वास है, जगह विश्वास है, पक्का विश्वास होता है। इंफॉर्मेशन जानना जरूरी है। अगर आप समझते हैं, अच्छा समझते हैं, अपने आप को जान सकते हैं, कोई वह नहीं है। लेकिन आप नहीं समझते तो भी मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि जानना तो आपको है, मैंने तो नहीं, सबको आपको जानना है। आपको पता होना चाहिए हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं। सौर मंडल कहते हैं सोलर सिस्टम को, ये क्या कर रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है। मैंने अभी बताया आपको, थोड़ा इंग्लिश में बताया, आप हिंदी में। सारा तो नहीं बताया जा सकता, हाँ सारांश दिया जा सकता है कि सोलर सिस्टम है, उसकी इतनी डायमेंशंस हैं, साइजेस हैं, वॉल्यूम्स हैं, ये सब है, और वो किस तरह से काम कर रहा है मैकेनिकली, आप कह सकते हैं उसको। हमारी दुनिया में वो किस तरह काम कर रहा है, उसको कैसे समझे, ये बताना जरूरी है। तो मैं बताता हूँ आपको कि हमने क्या समझा अभी तक। हमने क्या समझा, व्हाट आई अंडरस्टूड फॉर सोलर सिस्टम comprising of various planets is working in dynamic equilibrium। हमारे सौर मंडल है, इसमें बहुत सारे प्लैनेट्स हैं, नाम बताएं आपको, नाम मैं फिर बता देता हूँ, तो आपकी मेमोरी दोबारा शायद समझ जाए, पहले नहीं समझी तो ये आखिर क्या है, फिर बता देता हूँ, थोड़ा अच्छा रहेगा, थोड़ा टाइम तो लगेगा आपका, लेकिन बात को क्लियर होना चाहिए। मरकरी है एक प्लैनेट का नाम, वीनस है दूसरे प्लैनेट का नाम, शुक्र भी कहते हैं, अर्थ है फिर हमारी जमीन जिसमें हम रहते हैं पृथ्वी, एंड मार्स है प्लैनेट का नाम, और उसको हम कहते हैं मंगल। फिर जुपिटर जिसको हम बृहस्पति भी कहते हैं, गुरु भी कहते हैं। सैटर्न शनि है, उसको हम कुछ भी कहते हो। और देन सैटर्न है, शनि, देन यूरेनस है, नेपट्यून है, यूरेनस, नेपट्यून, और हिंदी में शायद राहु केतु वगैरह कहते होंगे, मुझे नहीं मालूम। और फिर बता देता हूँ कि मरकरी जो है 59 दिन लगाता है अपनी परिधि पे घूमने में, और सूरज के घूमने में 88 दिन। शुक्र लगाता है अपनी परिधि पे 243 दिन, और सूरज के चारों तरफ सूरज की गोलाई में घूमने में 224.7 दिन। अर्थ एक दिन में घूम जाती है 24 घंटे में अपनी परिधि पे, और एक वर्ष मतलब 365 दिन में घूम जाती है सूरज की चारों तरफ। सूरज की अब क्या है, कह सकते सूरज की गोलाई में, ऑर्बिट में। इसी तरह से मार्स है जो अपनी में 1.025 दिन लेता है, और सूरज को 27 दिन लेता है, 27। आप कहेंगे कि ये क्या कह रहा था, यस। इसके बाद मार्स, मंगल लेता है 1.025 दिन अपने पर घूमने में, और 687 पूरा चक्कर लगाने में सूरज का। इसी तरह से बाकी इंफॉर्मेशन में दी है, आप पढ़ लीजिएगा। जुपिटर की, सैटर्न की, यूरेनस की इंफॉर्मेशन बता रहा हूँ, इनके व्यास दिए हैं, व्यास को डायमीटर बोलते हैं। इसमें मरकरी का 4850 किलोमीटर, वीनस का 12000 किलोमीटर, जमीन पृथ्वी का 12500 किलोमीटर, मंगल का 6790 किलोमीटर, जुपिटर का 1,42,980 किलोमीटर, और शनि का 1,36,36 किलोमीटर, और बाकी यूरेनस का 51,118, नेपट्यून का 49,500, और प्लूटो का 2377 किलोमीटर। और बाकी इनकी स्पीड दी हुई है, साफ लिखा हुआ है, व्यास लिखा है सूरज का कितना व्यास है, और व्यास 1.34 मिलियन है उसका किलोमीटर्स। और उसी प्रकार से हमने प्रति आवर इनकी स्पीड कैलकुलेट की है सबकी, इनकी अपनी परिधि पे भी और इनकी अपने प्रोग्राम पे भी, दोनों की इस पे लिखी हुई है, दी जाएंगी। और बाकी बाकी टेक्निकल टर्म्स हैं, अब मैं तो खाली बताना चाहता हूँ आपको, ये सब डिटेल्स तो आप पढ़ ही लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है उसमें। जो मैं बता रहा हूँ कि सोलर सिस्टम इन प्लैनेट्स का बना है, अपने सूरज को मिला के सोलर सिस्टम comprises of various planets in working in dynamic equilibrium। डायनेमिक का मतलब होता है चलित, यानी वो बैठा नहीं है, एक जगह रुका नहीं है, चलता जाता है, चाहे वो किसी भी डिफाइंड पाथ पे हो या अनडिफाइंड पाथ पे हो, या एक सिस्टम है, एक डिफाइंड पाथ है जिसपे वो अपना काम कर रही है, सारे उसी में आए, वहाँ से हटते नहीं हैं, हटते हैं तो अपने रूट के हिसाब से हटते हैं। इसका ये मतलब है All planets are revolving around their respective axis कंटिन्यूसली, कोई रुकावट नहीं है, नेचर हर वक्त काम करती रहती है और यही कर रही है। और हमें इस चीज़ को मानना होगा कि वो एक जगह रुक नहीं सकते, रुकेंगे तो शायद इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं रहेगा, ये कारण हो सकता है। आई एम नॉट साइंटिस्ट, मैं वैज्ञानिक तो हूँ नहीं, सोच के बता रहा हूँ अपने डेफर माइंड से, जो थोड़ा बहुत है उल्टा सीधा जितना भी सोच सकता है दिमाग। प्लैनेट्स Planets other than Sun are also revolving around Sun with defined velocities, speeds. मतलब है कि जो प्लैनेट अपने एक्सेस पर, अपनी परिधि में चल रहे हैं, घूम रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं, और वो सूरज के हिसाब से भी उसके चारों तरफ घूम रहे हैं। सूरज अपनी परिधि पे चल रहा है, उनकी कितनी वेलोसिटी क्या है सब दिया गया है, आप पढ़ सकते हो, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। कितना दिन लेता है अपनी परिधि पे, कितना दिन लेता है सूरज के चारों तरफ चक्कर काटने में, ये भी दिया गया है। How many days this planet consume to move around sun and Earth's axis are mentioned in, दिए हुए हैं उसमें, बताए गए हैं कैलकुलेशन करने के बाद, वो आपके पास है, देख लीजिएगा। उसके बाद डायमीटर वॉल्यूम ऑफ ईच प्लैनेट इज इंडिकेटेड, कितना व्यास है उसका मतलब है कि कितनी बड़ी बॉल है वो, कितनी बड़ी गैन है वो, स्फेरिकल गैन हमारे प्लैनेट की, कोई सारी प्लैनेट हो, और उसमें कितनी मिट्टी भरी है, मिट्टी कह सकते हैं, चट्टान कह सकते हैं, आप मेटेरियल कह सकते हैं, कुछ भी कह सकते हैं। डायमीटर वॉल्यूम ऑफ ईच प्लैनेट, कितना मेटेरियल है उसमें, वो उससे निकाला गया है, एक अप्रोक्सीमेशन है। कोई ये नहीं कहता कि जो मैंने निकाला सही होगा, इससे भी अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन हो सकती है, लेकिन हम अपने हिसाब से जो करना चाहते हैं कर रहे हैं। And each planet owns each planet on rotating speed and speed around sun, we have talked of this, हम बोल चुके हैं कि अपनी परिधि पे किस तरह से घूम रहा है और सूरज के गोल में कितना घूम रहा है ऑर्बिटल स्पीड पे, ये दोबारा बताने की जरूरत नहीं है। प्रोपल्शन फोर्स, ये एक जरूरी चीज है जो आपको बताना है। प्रोपल्शन फोर्स इंग्लिश में मैं बता चुका हूँ, ऐसी फोर्स जिससे वो घूम रहा है और चल रहा है अपनी परिधि पे, रुकता नहीं है, कंटिन्यूस एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स, लगातार वो शक्ति उसको चला रही है, चलाती जा रही है, और जब से वो बना है चलता जा रहा है, और शायद यही उसका जीवन है। दिस इज लाइफ ऑफ प्लैनेट दैट इज वॉक ऑल अराउंड, maybe we know that, or maybe also means they go by their own, उनकी आत्मा से भी पहुंच सकते हैं समझने, पता नहीं है। हम तो खाली कहते हैं शिवा गा रहे हैं, और रखे आप सोच ही रहे। Well, then सेंट्रीफ्यूगल स्पीड जो बहुत जरूरी होती है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में, आपके कैलकुलेशंस में, अप्लाइड मैकेनिक्स में, कहीं भी आप चाहेंगे आपको फाइन करेंगे, उसमें आपको जरूरी होती है सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स, वो भी हमने निकाल के दी, हालांकि उसका कोई लगता नहीं कोई इससे एप्लीकेशन होगी इसमें, लेकिन फॉर पर्पस ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग सब्जेक्ट इट्स गिवन देयर, समझ जाए जितना समझ सकते हैं। और इसके अलावा हमने सूरज के पैरामीटर्स रिस्पेक्टिंग सन आर इंडिकेटेड सेपरेटली बिकॉज सन doesn't rotate on its own, rotate on its orbits on its own। अलग से हमने सूरज के पैरामीटर्स दिए हैं, उसमें उसके लिखा है बीच में एक लाइन, उसके बारे में वो क्या कर रहा है, कितना घूम रहा है और कैसे कर रहा है, और उनके हमने वो नहीं दिए यहाँ पर कि आप सूरज की रोशनी लाएं या सूरज को लाएं और वहाँ से निशान से बनाएं। That is not permissible actually। And of course said that authorities is just gone, check here। Important thing is that पृथ्वी जो घूम रही है अपने एक्सिस पे, वो 1636 किलोमीटर या उससे ज़्यादा 1 घंटे में घूम रही है, ये भी जानना बहुत जरूरी है एक आम आदमी को। इंग्लिश में तो मैं बता चुका हूँ, अर्थ रोटेट्स ऑन एक्सिस ऑफ द 1637 किलोमीटर पर आवर। लेकिन इतनी स्पीड तो हवाई जहाज की भी नहीं होती है। हवाई जहाज भी 10 किलोमीटर हाइट पे, या कह सकते हैं 30 या 32,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पे समुद्र तल से 900 किलोमीटर जाता है कमर्शियल फ्लाइट। और शायद 1800-1900 जाती होंगी आपकी फाइटर फ्लाइट, छोटे फाइटर वाले फाइटर प्लेन्स। ये घूम रही है 1600 कुछ पर। मतलब आप कह सकते हैं कि एक तरह का फाइटर प्लेन घूम रहा है अपने एक्सिस पे। अपने एक्सिस पे आप फाइटर प्लेन है, मीन्स आप फाइट के साथ है, आप भी उसी स्पीड से घूम रहे हैं। इसका मतलब है कि आप भी कहीं ना कहीं फाइटर है, नहीं है? खैर कोई बात नहीं, तो आगे चलते हैं। हम फाइटर प्लेन तो नहीं बनेंगे, लेकिन हाँ उसे यूज़ जरूर कर रहे हैं। और उसके बाद हम सूरजवंशी से भी मिलेंगे। उनको भी कहेंगे आप क्या समझते हैं अपने आप को। समझते तो वो हैं, लेकिन हम कहते हैं भाई आप घूम ही नहीं रहे, हम तो घूम रहे हैं। आप तो बैठे हैं साहब, हम घूम रहे हैं। आप भी थोड़ा घूम के देखिए ना। वो नहीं मानेंगे हमारी बात। और हम कह रहे हैं हम 1 लाख से ज़्यादा ऊपर स्पीड से घूम रहे हैं आपके चारों तरफ, 1 लाख से ज़्यादा किलोमीटर 1 घंटे में। और देखिए आप कितनी शक्ति रखते हैं। बोल सकते हैं मजाक में कुछ भी, कभी कभी मजाक भी अच्छा होता है, लेकिन सच्चाई तो यही है कि वी आर ट्रैवलिंग एट a speed of more than 1 lakh kilometer per hour or 0.1 million per hour imaginable. This is really positive and negative point in our world. So much so, why so much? We should know that. एंजॉय कीजिए आप अपनी स्पीड को। फ्री में बिना टिकट आप घूम रहे हैं, without any ticket, without any cost. Everybody is traveling with this speed, and we cannot see it physically, but if you go to space, you can see that one. और सबसे बड़ी मुसीबत यह है, ख्यालों में तो हम कहते हैं हम सन को जीत लेंगे, हम वहाँ पहुँच जाएंगे, हम ये कर लेंगे, बड़ा कुछ बोलते हैं, हम ये कर लेंगे, वो कर लेंगे, सूरज पे पहुँच जाएंगे। लेकिन ख्याल ये है, ख्याली पुलाव में पकाए जाइए, क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है, ख्याली पुलाव खाए जाइए। आप अगर सन पे खड़े भी हो नहीं सकते, हालत वहाँ की ये है, खड़े नहीं हो सकते आप 2 कारणों से। एक तो ये कि आपकी स्पीड इतनी नहीं है जो वहाँ चाहिए, और आप वहाँ से भाग भी नहीं सकते, ना तो आपकी स्पीड की वहाँ प्रॉब्लम है वो खींचने वाली है। और बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो कहा जाता है विज्ञान में कि इनको तो छोड़ ही दो भाई, माफ़ करो इनको, ऐसा कुछ कह देते हैं। खैर फैक्ट है वो, क्योंकि आप वहाँ खड़े भी नहीं हो सकते इतनी तेज स्पीड और रोशनी में, नहीं हो सकते आप वहाँ खड़े। अगर आप खड़े होना भी वहाँ चाहते हैं, चलने की तो बात छोड़ दीजिए, तभी आपको 2.5 मिलियन किलोमीटर का मीटर चाहिए। You need that one. You need a resistance of 2.5 million kilometer if you are standing there, and I don't think you can survive there without any other support. Well, this is all imagination. If you go further, then you'll find that it's about escape velocity, means if you are around 2.5 million kilometer run per hour, you can come back from there, or you be part of sun. Very big diameter, उसका व्यास 1.3 13 लाख किलोमीटर। उसको आप देख सकते हैं, 13 लाख किलोमीटर से आपसे जमीन से ज़्यादा ही कम नहीं। 13 लाख किलोमीटर हम कह रहे हैं भाई, तो 13 लाख हो गया ना, इससे हो गया। well, अब तो मेरी बातें हैं, कहने का क्या है कि हम मिसाइल फेंकें यहाँ से तो अटैक कर सकते हैं, उसमें वो गलत बात है। खैर वो कोई और फेंकने वाला है ना, किसी में इतनी शक्ति है, वो तो एक ख्याली पुलाव है जो हमने माना। ख्याली पुलाव, मजाक का, सोचने का भाई आगे क्या होता है कौन जानता है. आई डोंट नो व्हाट विल हैपन आफ्टर 100 years or 50 years, or maybe some devil comes and he starts working on that. Mind negative doesn't, you can do anything if mind is negative. अगर आपका दिमाग उल्टा चलेगा तो आप कितने भी पढ़े लिखे आप क्या कर लेंगे, क्योंकि कुछ लोगों ने लाखों लोगों को मारा था इस जमीन पे, और कुछ लोगों ने यहाँ पर एटम बम भी बनाए हैं, और कुछ लोगों ने तोड़ने फोड़ने के काम भी किए हैं, और वो लोग बेचते हैं उन चीज़ों को. तो सब कुछ संभव है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. और बाकी स्टडीज डेटास हैं कि ये सन 47 टाइम से, ये 47 से 78581 तक ये वेरी करती हैं एनर्जीज वगैरह और डायमीटर वगैरह. सो अर्थ का मोशन रहा, मिसाइल की अटैक रही, खतरा कितना रहा, कौन से व्हीकल चाहिए वहाँ पहुँचने के लिए, ये सब एक ख्याली पलाव है, लेकिन चाहेंगे तो सही. और कितनी पावर शक्ति वहाँ होगी जिसे हम देख नहीं पाएंगे. बहुत, आप टेबल देख के पता लगा लीजिए. और कितने अंदर और उसको रोशनी मिल रही है, कितने दूसरे प्लैनेट्स को, भी हमने लिखा है इसमें. 26वीं लाइन आप देखेंगे, 25वीं लाइन आप देखेंगे इसमें, तो आपको पता चलेगा क्या लिखा हुआ है. अंदर की क्या प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, अंदर की प्रॉपर्टीज 5.2 इंटू 32 किलोमीटर क्यूब जो कि है आपके पास. और ये जो रोशनी है वो तो भूल ही जाइए, हम नहीं ले सकते, नहीं ले सकते हम उस रोशनी को, हमारी आंखें इतनी मजबूत नहीं. देन कितनी रोशनी बाकी प्लैनेट्स पे जा रही है, वो भी एक सवाल उठता है कि क्या हम वो भी ले पाएंगे. नहीं ले पाएंगे, पर लेते हैं, हम जमीन पे तो लेते ही हैं. लेकिन याद रख लेना, हम सूरज की तरफ फिर भी नहीं देख पाते हैं सक्सेसफुली. दिन के टाइम में नहीं देख पाते हैं, सुबह शाम ही देख सकते हैं. तो ये थे पैरामीटर्स, और कंक्लूजन यही है कि हमारे पास ऐसे वैल्यूज हैं, और ये शक्ति है, एनर्जी है, इसको डिस्ट्रॉय तो किया ही नहीं जा सकता. रहेंगी तो ये वेदर में ही, इनका यूज़ किया जा सकता है, इनसे पॉजिटिव आ जा सकता है, इनको दोस्त बनाया जा सकता है अगर हमको सही समझना है तो. सो ये स्मॉल पैरामीटर्स थे जो मैंने अभी तक समझे, ये आपसे शेयर किए. इट्स नॉट एंड ऑफ एवरीथिंग, इट्स जस्ट beginning of this. I'll keep studying this further. Well, I find some interest in this subject because it's not because it's solar system, it's because I wanted to understand. Actually, still I did not reach my destination to understand its structure. I did not find much literature available on structure of this. I just explored based on information already available. There is an Earth lithosphere in which I have just talked before and disseminated information. Maybe you did not see that. It's up to you, but it's available. And I just walked out, means what possibly I could not even explore that fully in Earth portion. Forget about other planets. In Earth, we have explored only fossil fuels so far, which is petroleum, can say, or whatever polluting material we have there, which we know now that this fossil fuel is polluting one. We have explored that very successfully everywhere on this globe. And we are not sure about, and these were taken, only from crust portion of Earth. The crust portion means top portion of Earth, which is 35 kilometers from sea level. If you go down, you will find up to 35 kilometers Earth, and still we do not know much about that. Only we have explored petroleum from there, and I heard the news a few days back that China, I think China, no, not China, Japan, they are conducting experiment in one portion there in below sea, and going below sea, below bed seabed, few kilometers, 3, 4, 5 kilometers. Already sea is there, 4 down, 5 kilometers down, and from there, we're trying to see what material is there, and how can we try to forecast tsunami or seismic effects. That's what Japan is doing in that portion offshore, and they would be able to drill to that depth. It's about more than 5 kilometers from already seabed is there, and below that, say 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, they send something just to know what records could come there, information could see there. They are spending money on that, and maybe this time or next time or then next time you will feel very happy that some information is coming. That's very great. At least Japan is doing that. Maybe they are successful or they are not successful. That is something else. Attempt is there. If successful, maybe they get something better than this today. We may say we to some extent we can explore, at least in crust, if not in mantle. And crust is only 35 kilometers, not much. And if you say apple is a fruit and skin of apple is crust and nothing else, because diameter of the earth is 12,500 kilometers and 35 kilometers means crust, and we go down to 3,000 further than Miss saying it's a mantle portion. There's also further stratification of that, and below that we go to center of Earth. This is 6,000 something kilometers. That's core portion. So Earth has three structures according to our knowledge, our stratification that's available in books itself. This is core plus mantle plus crust and aerospace. This is called Earth. These four layers. Four layers means core, which is say 8,000 kilogram per meter cube, like steel. Material of core is expected to be equivalent to steel. It's not known yet. It's not known. The density is supposed to be known. It's around 8 gram per cc per cent cube. It's 8 tons per meter cube. Steel is 7845. Like let's assume 8 it is. So when it's so solidified, it's solid or it's liquid is unclear. Means temperature range must be there. So we have steel in so much quantity. You say that I have given that quantity as well in that Earth economy file which I put in. You can go through that and see there's quantities of that material which is unknown. Then mantle, which is in between core and crust. That's called mantle, I mean TLE. That's also having a material which is it tends having a density in between core density and crust density. We may say core density is say 2.5 kilogram or 2.5 gram per centimeter or 2,500 kilogram per meter cube, and inside is 8,000. You may say it's 5 point something as in that average. Hence, that mantle portion is having a material which is having that much density, and which can be that. It can be high density concrete. It can be high density concrete of that value. So that is mantle. This in the crust itself, it is 2 point something. If crust is not valued, how could they be able to value his materials? If they cannot value that. It's we have something very strong with us. We manufacture concrete ourselves. We can mix concrete ourselves based on our ingredients available, which of course come from rock itself. We use aggregate, coarse aggregate, we use fine aggregates, we use cementing materials, cement, and we use water, and we use admixtures, or we use GGPS, or we use PFA, or microsilica. If you see, all these materials come from our crust. We get water, that is water body of crust, and we use aggregate, fine aggregate. This is stone dust, can be, it's also rock dust, or it's a river pit dust, or river pits, or and you can say coarse aggregate is a crust stones, and cementing material, it's limestone, silica, and limestone is also from earth, and silica is also from earth. And then you can say silica fumes, or you can say GGBs. It's all for based on that metal, but coming from iron industry. GGBs comes from the pig, and we all use these materials to compose or to produce concrete material. And cement is used as cementing power, cementing force between these two, because these are inert materials, aggregates, fine coats, and what these are all inert means you have to add some power that adheres all these materials into one cohesive mix. That is concrete, and resistant of concrete varying one stands. It may be, you can say weight density can be 2.5 in ordinary way. It can be 2.5 or 2,500 kilogram per meter cube as usually we take into calculations. And it can be more, it will be 4, 5 when we put steel shafts in this, or the steel shards, the steel chips you put in that, the bullets you put in that. It is weight, it's steel, we're putting this, let's say 20%, 30, even if you put say 30% or 20% volume of that, or 10% volume of that, is 2.5 tons per cubic meter. If you put 2 or 2.5 more into that, 2.5 tons more into that means it is, you can say let's say 7.8 or 8,000 kilogram per cubic meter. One third of that you put in that. This is about, you can say 3 something or 2.7 something. So you're doubling that density of steel into that. So that way, you see, a mantle could vary. Yeah? Mantle is concrete, high density concrete, and higher density concrete. And your core is steel, and you sand to rock, your crust, and then water body, and air, which is lightest one. So, what kind of structure we are having built and delivered? This delivered to us to use, and we are exploring that. And within itself, organic, inorganic actions are ongoing, systems are ongoing for years and years and million years, and we are getting fossil fuels, organic actions and inorganic action both. You call hydrocarbon, you call it something else, you call carbon, you can call it whatever you want to call. But we are getting output into transformation of energy, and then other processes using. So ultimately, it's coming from that. We are using on the surface. Our food is coming from nature. We are not making fuel by, by chemical action, by sun solar action, or by whatever gases cycles, photosynthesis cycle, or whatever cycle is the climate cycle, other cycle. You are getting support of water, you are getting support of air, you are getting support of solar system, and you are putting all these crops grown, and you are using crops. This means you're not doing something except your energy. Everything's available in nature. It's working on them, all these food products, and we are getting. It's working on animals also. You see animals and yourself, what's the relation? You wear clothes, but animals are countless wearing clothes, dressing, same thing doctors don't do, and something donkeys don't do, and buffaloes don't do. They're all free in uniform, but they don't feel winter, they don't feel cold. Maybe they feel, they cannot speak, if you cannot know. But if you go, use yourself, means you stay in yourself, keep yourself in that position. This means if you acclimatize ourselves to and acclimatize ourselves in this situation, that situation, probably we shall be resistant to that one. Of course, we shall be resistant to that one, and that is very important point of view. But we are using clothes. We are using so many restrictions to our body. We are trying to live in rooms, in conditioned rooms or heat rooms, whatever, HVAC rooms, which means both heating and cooling. We are restraining our resistance to lower value. We don't want to resist more, but we can. If animals can, we also can. If you see these kids of working class, very working laborers, you may say, these poor guys who work on construction activities, but factories are open, and their kids are lying there. They don't even feel they're in the sun. They don't feel they're in cold. They're lying there. Your body assumes that weather conditions in which you expose yourself. When we expose in clothes and we try to run away from weather impacts, means you will run away from that. You will be only having resistance, that is what you want to have. So it's like that. It happens that way. When you are exposed yourself body to using clothes, then and face is open, so face gets sometimes darker than the rest of the body. So it's natural. It's you are using nature or you are not using nature. You are respecting nature or you are degrading nature. That is your viewpoint. Nature is my parent, my father, mother, because I am minus without nature. I don't have any existence without nature. So if I have to be with nature, I have to understand nature. And nature, this is nature study, understand system, which is a part of nature. So if I am given a power, is support at 15 kilometer, sun support or other planetary supports, though are not directly related to, but they are working somewhere to transfer of energy from this planet to that planet could be possible. Maybe I am living here, not but my soul will be reaching where, who knows? I don't know. Maybe I travel in train, I don't remember, but I travel, everybody travels. And who knows, we are traveling in our aura is developed that much, or we are reaching directly there and getting pure properties of that one and coming back. This may be possible. So this is all fictitious what I'm talking, all fictitious consideration, but fictitious or not fictitious. We cannot say until we know something. I cannot prove it's fictitious as well as I cannot prove this real. It's a feeling. When you say travel and dream, you go somewhere, you don't know what's there, but you are in some places and maybe you sometimes feel refreshed or powerful. After some time, you come up and feel happy, sometimes feel sad. But feeling happy or feel sad is not relevant to study. You have to. Mind to me to say is this one should be pro exposure. Don't limit yourself if you have time, if you have will, if you have ambition. If you are not inclined only to make money is also very important. But these days, all are interested only in money. All around worldwide. Very few people are left who are interested to think upon or use thinking power. And result is our thinking tanks are dropping. Our think tanks have gone somewhere, I don't know where. Think tank has gone. Gossip is rising. Energy of money is rising. Everybody wants comforts in life, facilities in life. It's good you have facilities, but if facilities create problems, what's the facility? It has happened. We had facility of motors, cars, buses, flights, every facility we have. We are using that. We say it is science, it's technology. Yes, it is technology, it is science. It's human comfort. It is saving time. Everything is there. But at what cost? At cost of pollution of air, at cost of degradation of your health, at cost of not performing physical exercises. How many of you doing physical exercises in your life? I don't think many of you are doing. Hardly 10% not doing. Oh, sorry, 10% doing. Mm. Means we are just trying to live comfortable life without having, with we can say with initiative of or with willingly exerting pressure on ourselves. Resistance is being reduced. We just studied resistance in electrical engineering. This is resistance, this is conductance, and this is this and that. Their resistance is important, but in our body, no resistance required. After all, we are getting electric energy from God, magnetic energy, electrical energy, electrostatic energy, or whatever type of energy we are taking, we are using, but we don't feel that we are using energy. But we have to build resistance as well. Resistance can be built only by experience, by exposing oneself to hard work, to facing hardest impact on body. But people condemn this these days. I am not able to walk because I don't want to walk. I have no time to walk. Don't walk. It's up to you. You are owner of your body. Problem is with you. If you are happy, you feel happy. If you are not happy, you won't feel happy. If you are sick, it's only you are feeling, not your brother, not your sister, not myself. You have to struggle. You have to find. You have to take treatment, and you have to depend on everything. You have to spend your money. But if you say no, I want to train my body to exposure of sun, cold, winter, etc., etc., you shall not find any big deal there. Okay? If you don't like this, do this. You say. If some of your brothers says, no, I'm not able to do this, says, do it now. Take half an hour, do it. This will be a common answer. But how far can we move like that? One has to decide its roots. You think spending money on medical treatment and lakhs of rupees is preferable, or making your body resistant to weather impacts is better? Which one is better? After all, in fact, luckily, engineering community works a lot better physically than other communities. I've seen medicals, doctors, other professionals, most times sitting in their offices, non-professionals, professionals, all doctors, chartered accountants, advocates, and all this. These people have very little chance to resist their bodies. They're just sitting. Of course, they're working. They're brilliant. They're using mind, but alone, mind itself is not complete. Your body must draw power from your mind. After all, body is part of body. Mind is master of your body, controller of your body, and you want more power from your mind means you can have better body. You are depending on external sources, not your internal sources. And that external sources, I want to relax after work, and during work also I want to relax. Why to walk? Why to strain? Why to stress? Have AC comfort, and life is better. Doctor, yes, during operation is tense, but not operation is not every day. It's not done every day. Most of times they sit in their chairs. Engineering designers, most of time they sit in chairs, and all others. Generally, only workers, physical workers, or you may say construction workers or factory workers who work physically, their health should be better than others' health. Civil engineers, electrical engineers, and civil engineers must be having better health if they have really worked. Resistance is very important, and resistance means if you have solar radiations within your body, you will build resistance. You will build, you will do evaporation of your water from your body, which requires replenishment of that, and that means you are getting more energy to your body. Stored energy is there, and depletion of waste energy is there. All these three points shall add to your physical caliber, and try to pass natural energy, move to your mind and come down from mind to your parts. That makes your circulation better than septic one, better stagnant one. Stagnation is not better for health. Try to avoid stagnation, and that is only when you use natural sources. Natural sources. If you say you stand in sun every day, in hot even, for 30 minutes or for 1 hour or more than that, Do it because of your work or because of just enjoying nature. You will certainly develop your strength better than before. You change yourself. Of course, it's not good to be all day in sun, particularly in summer. But if you don't have any say alternative, you have to do that, and that is important. Well, I'm just deflecting myself to some other field, but that is related to this one. Mind and body must talk together. Why should I feel tired after work? Mind? Why? There's no reason. Because my mind is not trained to take that much stress. That's why I feel that. This means education benefit is not coming. I was educated. Why I was educated? Because to build mind, to develop mind. And if I am getting stress from that, because I did not study properly. Or if I studied that time, I left studying after that. Means working half an hour, oh, I'm tired. Working 2 hours, I'm too tired. Yes, no problem. Keep cold, keep hot yourself and work. If your mind is strong, if your mind is heated up from natural energy, it shall certainly transfer energy to other parts of body. If your legs are hot, then it will better treat your blood pressure. Similarly, your mind, your head, your body, but within limits. And doctors always say, don't take vitamin D. Go and stand in sun for 5 seconds, 5 minutes. But they never tell how much energy you should take. Because in their science, this answer is absent. No problem. They are doctors, very honored people. But what I think, until you can tolerate something, you won't take it. Simple. Just size how much exercises perform. Some question arises, oh, they say I'm performing physical exercises, or they may call it fakely yoga, or I call it physical exercises. If I'm doing physical exercises, up to what level should I do that, perform that? Or there's some definition of nobody answers. The best answer is until you feel pleased with that. That time when comes, if you feel pain with that, stop doing that. Means tolerable limit, resistance limit. It's not only for exercise, it's for everything. Until you please do work. And when you need something, relax. Take a cup of tea or whatever you take. And then do work. And then relax. Same lie to your workers. Because body must be clean and powerful. If additional forces come on body, that's also bad. Gradually you can appear at that. Gradually you can make more, you apply more stress on yourself and make you better. But in a scope, in a duration, you'll find that you are performing more time continuously and in a better way. So it's something different, of course, but it is related to nature. For example, I experimented myself. Of course, I was lucky to work in fields and also walk. And walking, generally phrase walking is best exercise. Yes, it is. Walk is best exercise. How it is best exercise? Being an engineer thing. Whatever weight you have, you are standing means downward force is there. Your weight due to gravity. And you're not working, but you're feeling stressed. You stand for 1 hour and you feel tired. And you walk for 1 hour, you feel differently. If you stand for 1 hour, you feel just tired, fatigued. But if you walk for 1 hour in sun, and you'll find a refined moment. Yes, means when I started and reached 1 hour walk, you find sweating also in summer or even in winter. Sometimes you feel yes, I got it fresh. But why it happened? We don't think it happened because we worked. We worked, but not with stress. We worked for pleasure. If suppose I'm 50, 60 kilogram, there's a coefficient of friction during walk between my feet and surface of walking. And I'm working with my weight into that coefficient of friction. It can be less than 1 or it can be 0.5. And in my motion direction, walking direction, you can say that what the horizontal force created, that we call P, that force created, and it works per hour or per minute in direction of my motion. I am working engineering wise or technically, but that work is not felt because I'm enjoying. That work which I did before was not enjoying. It was boring work, professional work, or my routine work. I just want to neutralize that, just to dissipate that strain with this stress. It's pleasure one is what is one side, other side, one positive, negative. So I am just neutralizing that one. So I should feel that of course, I walked, but I felt better, I relaxed, and then I will come and sit again and relax for another means. Oh, yes, I take cup of water or cold water, hot water, whatever I take, but I feel better. So if I continue that for long, you will energize yourself. May not feel it, but you energize yourself. You say, yes, I can walk six kilometers a day, 5 kilometers a day. You may say that. Of course, you walk in your job if you are in field, your young age. Everybody used to walk, and you feel healthy that time. But if you depend upon only without walking, I'll walk, it doesn't work for me. I'll take my car or my to side or stay. I use only car even for going to 50 kilometers, 50 meters. I use car. I can't walk. And you will, of course, not earn that chemical which goes to your body. You will not earn that, materials or powers that come from sun, or that power that comes in combination of air chemicals and sun, or water moisture chemicals of within air and sun. You will not get benefit of that natural doctor, natural chemical process which you get when you do that type of activity. And that is very, very self-pleasing, self-praising, self-explanatory, and that's part of nature because sun is giving you, and maybe sun in combination with other planets giving you. So one study is not in isolation. Pollution is damaging you, but what to do? You have no solution. Better accept that. How long can you use mask, and how long can you run away from that? How can you defeat that? Question is that. Is pollution. It will go to rain sometime, will come back again. Then it's fog. It won't be clean fog. It will be again chemical fog. So you have to live in chemical world now because it is your production until this is cleaned. No way. You have to accept this. Of course, you get asthma, you get blood pressure, you get cancer. This is award. This, of course, award of humanity because you spoiled something and you can't change. Either change that, think your way, reduce your driving, start walking. Maybe 2 billion cars or vehicles operating every day. I'm sure, not less than that in the whole world. In our country, it is approximately 35 crores. If I take traffic data and extrapolate that, I worked on that. Means 35 crores vehicles are available in our country. So if there are so many other countries, you can say not less than 2 billion probably. Every day these are working. Even if for 1 hour it's working, you can calculate how much carbon dioxide you are generating. Air conditioners are working. You are polluting air, though it's pure. It's working all over the world where this is required. And heating is also working somewhere. So we are ultimately destroying our power ourselves, our strength ourselves means I'm spoiling what nature gave us. And we are then complaining also. Whole Europe is complaining, but they are best spoilers. This means they are to come to such level. They are saying that plastics to Indonesia, plastics to Canada is sending to Philippines, and this they have come to such childish layer, such and their stupid layer that they are trying to dump their waste onto others because of all these problems we never care for. So nature is with us. God did everything to us. We fail to comprehend that what God did. And that is where we fail. But still, it's not too late. We have not spoiled every resource. Earth is still safe if we understand that. Only we have stolen from Earth, explored from there for something, not everything. So we have to think this way. Nature should be our friend. It should be our home. It should be actually our, you can say, vastu, not religious vastu. We have to use nature force as our remedial vastu, our quarantine vastu. If we make resistance, our body resistant, people go to gymnasium. I don't know for what they go there. What's there? Except spoiling further your health. I have seen many cases where people are suffering because of gymnasium. Well, let them lose their business. But gymnasium is after artificial. You have to take from every agency, air agency, sun agency, and water agency, and whatever agency is available, you have to help, you have to take input from everywhere just to build your body. They call it Panchatattva, means five elements are there, though there may be more elements, but let us say those five elements must be augmented in their strength. We must augment our body by water, and we have to augment by sun, and these are visibly available presently. We have to take at least those which we can get without paying any money, without paying any bill. But we are not taking that because and at least I'm happy that particularly those people are working in field, they do it not knowingly, but they are for enforced rate. I was there. I used to stay work in sun long too long. We had to do. We had to walk as well. I'm not saying walk all the time, but at least to for treatment of your body, you have to walk sometime, and it is good. Well, I don't know, doctor. That's the main purpose of talk. Although I'm just sometimes, if your mind works, you cannot stop. To get that way, this way, that way. Maybe people start feeling bored. It is something technical, and it is very serious subject. In fact, I consider this too serious, and that's the only reason I try to share with my colleagues, with my people involved, and my friends. So, though it may not be interesting to all of you, yet it's your friend. Keep it friendly for you, and don't disregard these forces. After all, these are God's delivery, not our own. He provided this without any request, without any payment, and He conceived it through so that these people require this before sending people to this place. He designed everything. Don't know, we are not even a drop if you compare to that. I am engineer, I am doctor. All, all just to live and die. Well, not take much of your time. Thank you very much. And I close this. Thanks. Bye.